Nick, what's the story?
Yeah. Well, I wandered into Dynamic, and they were very sweet. I had a word. I was chatting with Thomas Kiefer, Mr. Kiefer. Anyway,
Tom
I was chatting with him, and Tom Kiefer. I said, "So why did you go down twice?" He said, "Oh, I wasn't really paying attention, driver." So he went and asked his technical guy, and his technical guy kind of smiles and everything else. Said, he goes to me, "There was a reason, but I can't tell you." So I went, "Oh, is that because it's quicker?" And the technical guy went, "No, it's not quicker, but we had a technical reason we had to do it, and we can't discuss it on the live stream." So there we go.
So read into that what you wish.
That is there is a career in politics waiting for that team, but he says it wasn't quicker. And I think we've assessed it wasn't quicker, or is it at least no quicker?
It was,
but there was a reason why they were doing it.
Well. Will that remain one of the mysteries that when we're sitting having a coffee at the airport on Monday morning think, did they do it, did they not? Was that what was going on? We'll have to just keep asking until one of them breaks rank.
I've got a desk lamp here, we can shine into their eyes. Actually, we'll wait till Bradley gets in there. His interview technique is honed from many years as an officer of the law.
He'll get the pocketbook out. And is that right?
And beat them with it? Oh, sorry, no, sorry, I see where you were going with that.
He was an upstanding officer, I'll have you know.
He always carries a telephone directory around with him. I don't know why.
The thing is, what I'm struggling to decipher is what was the technical reason for driving down the pit lane and driving straight on through. If there's a technical problem,
why
surely
wouldn't you
you'd
stop?
like to have a look at the car and maybe investigate it. We might never know. Yeah,
very good.
I wonder at the next Code 60 if there's going to be other teams that do the same. If we see another car doing the same, we'll know that the game's up, so to speak. There are some personal best times being put down now as the track starts to cool a little bit. Timo Rumpfkehl for Hofer Racing in there, number 11 Mercedes, a 2-minute 0.165. Also the QMMF by HRT of Julian Hanses, a 203.011 personal best for that car throughout the entire race. Had a great little factoid from our fellow commentator Phil Anson, who said the 974 of the QMMF team is because that's the dial code for Qatar, and likewise it's the 971 Rabdan by Fulgenzi, that's the Dubai dial code.
Yeah, very good. I like that. Yeah, there's a story on all of the numbers in that category, pretty much.
Oh yeah, well the leader at the moment is the Red Camel Jordans, number 909. That's the hill climb car. The Berg Spider was the Type 909.
There you go. See?
Is that my anorak hung up on that coat? It is.
I didn't hear you zip it right the way up there.
Too warm for an anorak.
Like Kenny. Thank you very much. Now you understand, dear listener and viewer, why I invited Peter Mackay to Rennsport 7, the celebration of all things Porsche racing. It is fair to say that we nerded out for 3 days on television on that, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah, that would be a correct
We were locked in a very, very small commentary box, part of a production truck.
Remember how cold it was in the production box?
We could have hung meat in there. Our local butcher would have been very happy. Johnson's in High Street, Thrapston. He would have been very, very happy at that. And however, we were kept fed and watered. Very, very good food from Bobby Aitken and the rest of the production crew. And we were fed not only in terms of food and drink, but food for the soul was constant moving pictures of classic Porsches.
And Porsche legends, almost a stream of them in and out the commentary box. They come and chat to us as well. Who do we have? We had Hurley Haywood, Derek Bell. You had Jochen Mass.
Yes. Hadn't seen
Jackie X.
Jackie X. Yeah. Did you do Jack? You did Jackie X.
I spoke to Jackie X.
That was good. That was a great interview.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Is that them all?
No, Brian Redmond. You did Brian Redmond. That was good. I'll let you do Brian.
Brian, bless him. He's a great storyteller. The only problem is he broke into a brilliant story right at the start of the 962 race, which was a little bit challenging, but it was just a privilege to meet all these great people, and of course the the commitment of...
Did we have Timo as well? Timo Bernard, I think we did. Oh, no, that might have been at Le Mans, actually.
But Nick Tandy?
Oh, Tandy came up, yeah. That's fine.
I think he definitely classifies as a Porsche legend.
Yeah, we'll have some more Porsche legends in our coverage in 2 weekends' time from the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Already fixing up some special guests for our global broadcast centre, which will move not next weekend, but the middle of the following week, overlooking another start-finish line. Very similar, actually, in terms of the position, except the cars are going in the opposite direction. We look directly down on the stripe at Daytona. We've got Yas Marina coming up before that next weekend. It has cleared up a little bit, and looking downtown at the moment, as we can do, particularly from our drone shots, the original central business district, if you will, the original city centre, with the what was the tallest building in the world, the Burj. Not quite time. No, we've probably missed its light show for this evening. Over at Festival City, they'll round about 20 minutes time. They'll be their weekend fireworks show. They've got a big sound stage there as well in front of the Mall, next to the Intercontinental and the Crown Plaza, overlooking the creek there.
Something has really ruffled the feathers of Loic Hartog. Maybe he's on the radio saying, how dare they suggest that I went down the pit lane to save time, but in the Dynamic GT Porsche, he's taking chunks of time out of Ahmad Al-Harti in the Paragon competition, BMW, last lap by it to the tune of 3 seconds, so the gap is down to 18.6 seconds. He also took nearly 2 seconds, in fact just over 2 seconds, out of Max Hesse on that previous on the previous lap, and going on this lap by the sector times, Loic Hartog taking even more chunks of time. So by the end of this stint, we could see Hartog and that Dynamic GT Porsche move into the lead. It really has been a battle, Stuttgart versus Munich. It's been Porsche versus BMW all race long, back and forth, cat and mouse. But will we see any other characters coming into the mix? The Optimum McLaren, they're in 6th place. They're just getting closer all the time. They've clearly been paying attention to the Ted Lasso sticker on the coffee machine that just says, believe.
I had Apple TV on an 8-day, 7-day trial just coming up to Christmas, and managed to binge watch the whole 4 series of Slow Horses, which I...
Oh, it's fantastic.
Thoroughly.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, you
didn't get round to Ted Lasso. Did do a little bit of the morning show.
Excellent as well.
Yeah. I'd seen a few of those on various planes, but you know, they only have sort of 2 or 3, and you get hooked into it, and then you get home and look for it. It's not on Apple, and just another subscription.
You need to do it. You need to do it. Ted Lasso's excellent. Morning show's excellent. Yeah, really top quality stuff. 15 hours and 21 minutes left in this race. We've had a fairly eventful, shall we say, 8 hours and 40 minutes of action. In terms of Code 60 interventions so far, we've had 2 hours and 1 minute and 51 seconds to be absolutely precise. 7 Code 60 interventions, so that's around, well, it's not quite 1 an hour. So there has been prolonged periods of green flag running, particularly the first stint was completely uninterrupted. And it's just been about who's played those Code 60s just right. Sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's skill, sometimes it's a combination of the two. And one team that are renowned for it is the number 91 Herbert, who that is their trademark, is nailing those Code 60s. And they had an interesting, I mean, really cool colour scheme the last 2 years with the black with gold pinstripes of the Lotuses of the late 70s. I won't say the brand on air because I'll get in trouble. But the 91, they've gone from dark and mysterious to, well, looks like the curtains in Austin Powers' apartment. The 91 Herbert Porsche, it's almost like an art car actually in a way. And it's been driven at the moment by Jake Pedersen, a young American driver who unfortunately had a crash earlier in the week, but they managed to get it repaired. In style, it looks a bit like the hippie Porsche, but there's more colours on it. There's more different colours on it, but that's that kind of psychedelic 1970s type look to it.
Before that, there was the... Do you remember the Apple Computers sponsored car?
Yes.
The Mom?
Yeah. Bobby Rahal drove that.
That's right.
At that, they retired at Sebring, and Bobby Rahal decided to get an early flight home, and there was no flights, and Sebring Airport there was nothing open, so both Bobby Rahal decided to take a sleep on a bench, and there was somebody else sleeping on the bench beside him. Turned out to be Steve Jobs, who was there, of course, watching the car that
he's been driven. Yeah.
Sponsoring.
Yeah. Looking very, very shiny, that car, considering that we're 9 and a bit hours into the race. The right-hand side is the side that reminds me of the Apple car with all the multicolours on, before they went to the logo that is more used. The left-hand side reminds me of the hippie car, because it's got that dark blue and dark green on it. But like I say, it's that kind of psychedelic. The responsible adult had a I think it was an Andy Blackmore design hippie car t-shirt that was her favourite, and it literally fell apart. She wore it that much.
The hippie cars, because it was in 1917 Longtail, which was actually a Martini car, and Count Rossi was very, very upset with it. It did still have Martini stickers on it, unlike the Pink Pig, which was a Martini car as well, but was not allowed to have any Martini stickers on it.
They just had the Martini... the lines with the Martini logo on the back wings, didn't they? Right at the very back.
The hippie car.
The hippie car.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Well, and don't forget the Pink Pig was a Martini car as well, but they absolutely said no, and it didn't have all the wording on it until the race. During the practice and qualifying, it had the dotted lines, but it didn't have all the cuts of meat written on it.
For a car that was pretty spectacularly unsuccessful, it's become a legend. It has become. The Pink Pig, yeah.
Well, and the Pink Pig nomenclature came from that car, from the factory itself, and they were not being complimentary about it at all.
Well, they weren't. The Truffle Hunter from Zuffenhausen, as it was known. But then, of course, the colours, the Pink Pig Mark II did go on to win at Le Mans in 2018 and GTE Pro. So I love the great colour schemes on cars. The 901, the Ajith Kumar racing car, the white with the red and the yellow stripes, I just can't get over. That's a ton of caramel wafer car. They need
caramel wafer, yeah.
Switch the white to a silver, and it's there. It's caramel wafer. Into the pit lane, GT4, one of the surviving BMW M4 GT4s. I think this is the We Buy Any Phone car coming in.
AGMC Racing by Simpson Motorsport car, to give it its official title. Out has got Tiger Tari, what a fantastic name, on his belt. In has got too dark. Well, the question I've been asking is, has he got tiger feet? That's right. I really love that Tiger Light. He didn't see treading in mud with 2D, so possibly not. And I have to ask him to be lonely this Christmas, just to complete the... So I think, the other mud hits, surely you can get a couple in there as well, John.
Surely they'll be spending the rest of the week up at Ras Al Khaimah, because they were on Rack Records. Mike,
very good.
Chap,
excellent point.
Mike Chin and Mike Chapman, and what was Dave Chin? Thank you.
Yeah. Dave Chin. So this pink car, which has the home repair network as well as its WeBuyAnyPhone.com. As always, even though I've been here in the pit lane now for several hours, I'm still surprised about how long these pit stops take, because they're doing 5 nuts. So I'm going to go a quick word with Tiger, because basically he's got the best name ever. Tiger, you just got out of the car. How's it going?
Say that again?
I see. Deafened by your own car there. How did this thing go?
It's first time in this car, first time on this track, first time with 24 Series. A lot of first time and 115 minutes practice. Really didn't help a whole lot, but I'm learning.
So your first time on here was in the dark. I mean, how much did you still have to learn when you actually left the pit lane?
I mean, put it this way: once I killed the tires pretty early on at 25.
Hello. Hello, hello. Hello.
Torch shaped like a phone, rather than phone close enough. If I said that, I'm not on they are.
The guy who's just taking that, I'm sure he had a phone. No, that's another one I saw.
I'm not going to argue with the
Going to get a ring about that.
They're looking down into they're looking down to the electrics as well, on the left-hand side back. They are, obviously they've got a misfire or a dead stick electrical problem now. But they're going to may well take off either way on the corner. That wasn't very good. He drew that spanner very quickly after a spark. So yeah, it's got that problem. You've no idea what,
What damage is done when those extinguishers go off and you clean everything up, but it doesn't, yes, it's not conductive, but get into all nooks and crannies and cause other problems. But they've had in contrast to the Touchwood clean run, the 495, the GT40 has had, this one's had a lot of problems. And again, now suffering an electrical problem. They have got an issue where getting the wheels off has caused some problems. Now, interestingly, John, I see a lot of people using these electrical drills powered by portable electric drills to try and get the wheel nuts off. And they've all been failing. I'm not quite sure why they've moved away from the pneumatic drills, but it does seem that, I'm not sure whether there's something about the way that it's running that's tightening the nuts up too much. But I've seen a lot of people struggling to get nuts off these various single centre lock wheels up and down the pit lane today.
We have completed another race hour, and there's now under 15 hours to go as we've just clicked past 10 o'clock in the evening here in Dubai. And it's a very warm welcome in every sense of the word to 2025's motorsport season, circuit racing endurance season, with the traditional season opener being the 20th running of the Michelin 24H of Dubai, kicking off also a two-race Middle East Cup for the Coventic 24H series, and starting the full season as well, with the European rounds to come later on in the year. And once again, what a fabulous calendar that we have for 2025. Just about got there with that. All of the circuits that you have come to know and love in the championship again for this year. Starting at Mugello in the middle of March 21st to the 23rd, beautiful part of the world, a fabulous circuit for multi-class racing. Then we'll be at the 12 hours of the Spa-Francorchamps, 18th to the 20th of April. Back to Misano at the Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli on the Adriatic coast, 23rd to the 24th of May, so probably not melting us as it did last year. Back to the south of France and to the Circuit Paul Ricard. That I always enjoy the trip down there. It's a good road trip as well, a great drive up to the top of the hill for the 12 hours there, 4th and 5th of July, and we'll finish late in September, 26th to 28th. That's a week later than it was this year. We had the responsible adult's birthday there this year, last year rather, and that is the 26th to 28th of September. And if you want any more details, www.24hseries.com. Live timing, by the way, for this event and all of them this year, live timing.getraceresults.com. And you can see what we've got in our booth here. Stack of Michelin tyres being brought here, which Charles from Michelin explained to Nick
very well at the start of the race. Unique at the moment to this series, and Michelin a huge commitment to this championship. Nick Damon in the pit lane for the moment has just seen the leader go past him.
Yes, the red BMW M4 GT3 EVA. I want to put an M3. I never like the fact that when the coupe go to M4. I mean, I know it's all about clever nomenclatures, but that's an M3. It should be an M3. It should stay an M3. That's my level of traditionalism. I'm not having that being changed. I'm pretty sure that actually what happened was that Amada hardly stayed on board. And the interesting thing about that is they
did change tyres. Now, changing tyres obviously takes, 25, 30 seconds. But they only do, there's more than 25 or 30 seconds in the car running on fresh boots. And of course, I don't think there's any issue with the finance for this thing.
That's about 7 tenths a lap every lap. So you've got to get on with it. You've got those new tyres. It could just be that they're trying to reduce risk as well, because if you try to double stint and get towards the end of the stint and the car's moving around, and it just takes confidence away from the driver. So yeah, looking for new Michelin tyres to give you that big grip. And we heard from Luke Roykers earlier on, who just in the 992 class, he just beamed into a big smile when he was talking about just how much grip the tyres have got, particularly in the first laps. What did it do to the 777 car, Nick, when that came through with Max Hesse? Did that go into the... that must have gone for fuel, did it? Was that been in for a while? That was, yeah, okay, so that did... Right, so, Ahmed El Harthi, if he did stay aboard, is now in fuel, and it cost exactly 20 seconds to change 4 wheels and Michelin tyres. It was 54 seconds in the pit, as opposed to a 34-second transit time. That's not bad. 20, so actually you've got to maybe get 35 laps, then, yeah, maybe not even quite 7 tenths a lap, roughly speaking. Yeah, could just be also a driver comfort thing as well, because if you go to the point where you're getting to the end of a double stint, you're at nearly 70 laps, and you make an error and then it's all done. So it could be a matter of safety as well as and confidence for the driver. It could be driver dependent as well. Of some drivers might be able to keep the tyre in a little bit longer. What this will do with the 991 BMW, really, for Paradigm, the AM leader, out of the lead now, has dropped a second, and that will leave the 777 BMW as the only car in the lead lap. Will have that car into the pit lane within the next 5 or 6 laps for Max Hesse, and then we'll get to see whether they change the tyres. They were new last time down the pit lane for Max Hesse. Will they give it a go and change the tyres and save themselves 20 seconds? That's the question. this time of night, there were some teams saying doubles or possibly even triples for these Michelin GT Enduro tyres. I wonder if that's necessary or not, man, because it seems like when you're on those opening laps, the lap time is there straight away. It's not like when you look at saying like Hypercar or GTP, it takes several laps to get the tyre right up to its performance. But if we're talking about consistency, Max in traffic last time around did a 2 minutes .8 against the car's best of a 1:58 flat. So nobody's been near that since the start of the race. No one has. I mean, the best we've seen in the last, certainly since we've been on here in the last 2 hours, 2 minutes left. No, it was just 1:59, yeah, from Locarto, yeah. But that's on brand new tyres. Right, let me find somebody who's just put. So Luke Hartog on brand new tyres did a 2:02 last time around. That was his second flying lap. 2:01 from Mikhail Porter for Optimum in the McLaren. 2 minutes flat for Vitaly Petrov in the SMP Racing AMG Mercedes. More 2:01s in 2 minutes. Victor Schuyler for Winwood doing a 2 minutes flat. 2 minutes .9 actually. What's the Aston Martin that's catching back up again? That's the EBM car. Mumkong Sathin Thirakul behind the wheel of that car. He did a 2:03. He's on 23 lap all tyres. Hesse with a 2 minutes .889 to back up his 2 minutes .8 whatever it was I said last time around on 30 lap old tyres. That's impressive by that BMW, by Max Hesse, and by the tyre, and by the new BMW GT. It takes up because that's exactly what they wanted to get out of this car. One of the drawbacks of the first edition of the M4 GTB was that it went through tyres quite heavily, and that's what the big development goal behind that car has been, is to get that tyre life better, and it appears like that has been achieved. A 2:01 flat there for Max Hesse, so yeah, he's running very consistent times. It's not the up down, it's the consistency that's important. She's going through turn 3 now, and right ahead of him is the second place car of Alexander Malikin. He's about to put him 2 laps down here. So in the headlights of the leader, watch out for Pure Racing, the mostly white Porsche, number 92. They're heading on to the back straight now. Just ahead of Alexander Malikin is Vitaly Petrov for SMP Racing in 8th position. Already nearly 3 laps down on the leader. Now, again, the pit stops are not exactly the same in terms of the strategies. Don't worry about how many times they've been down the pit. It's the last time they were in the pits. Alexander Malikin is on his 28th lap, and Max Hesse is on his 31st lap on the sets of tyres that they are racing at the moment. In third, Jake Pedersen for Herbert Racing is on his 24th lap. Behind that, we've got Luke Hartog on his, not just his 4th lap out the pits, and Ahmed El Harti for Paratime BMW on his 2nd lap out of the pit lane. So all of this is important. Track position later on. Remember, with no safety cars to pack up and no wave bars, that's interesting. A little bit of wrap, vinyl wrap on. Now that is the Tarte car, is it? Yes, it is. So that is the Berg Longines number 21 Haas RT Audi in 5th in GT3 and 13th overall. Left rear just fluttering a little bit there, but I don't think it's bodywork. I do think it's just the vinyl covering. Where are the leaders? And more to the point, where is the number 92 car? 92 has now been passed, has it? They are so close together on the circuit, I can't see 2 numbers, but I think that Alexander Malikin has just lost another lap as they're coming through turn 9 now. I might be able to pick them up going on the back straight. Yeah, Max Hesse just putting in such strong pace. It was a tricky lap there for Alexander Malikin coming through through traffic, and likewise for Hesse. He's got back 3 seconds in the favour of Hesse. They've just come through sector 1 almost together. So yes, and that is they are on the same strategy because the Tourette's Michelin has done 29 laps on his tyres, Hesse 32. We've got on the track at the moment, can we get turn 12? The number 7 Vitaly Petrov in 8th position. Behind that, the number 77 Munkong Sapin Perikul for EBM, and the 777 all together 77-7 and 777 and 777 all heading to the speedball left-hander at turn 14, and that is a lap down. So the 777 is now he's gone through. Yes, that's, yeah, as I said, yeah, exactly. So it's a long race. Remember, Alexander Malekin is the bronze graded or AM graded driver. Max Hesse is he's either a gold or a platinum. He's a pro driver. So the thing is as well, you've got to put in the right drivers at the right time. So Alexander Malekin is doing exactly his job. It's been on the entry list. Max Hesse is listed as semi-pro, but I think that's an ad maneuver because he's an FIA gold at least. Oh, this is turnaround at the far end of the circuit, and the Haas RT car was hit there. The number 21, and was that the 69 car? Michael Laboda and the Continental Audi getting into the side of the Haas RT machine. Oh dear. That might be a penalty. Haas RT was hit. I think that's an ad maneuver because he's an FIA gold at least. Oh, this is turnaround at the far end of the circuit, and the Haas RT car was hit there. Here's, this is the conundrum here with drivers of differing ability and speed potential on the track in cars that are very similar in terms of what they can do. And you have to be respectful. We heard this from a number of drivers earlier on that generally speaking, but there will be times when the AM driver is out there and he's not racing the cars around him, even if it does appear to be pole position, because he's racing the guy that got out an hour ago or will get in 2 hours hence. Now that will be looked at, I'm sure, by race control. It was picked up on the live feed here as well, and Bert will be absolutely fuming. That cost him 14 seconds. That half spin at turn 12 on the far side of the track. It does look cool that the car they've not lost any pace. They're on the pace, so that means that there's been no. And the flapping body, the flapping vinyl was there beforehand. We mentioned that. And in fact, that was the other side, but he was hit on the right-hand side. Yes. So it's definitely there's no problem with the pace, so that's good for Haas RT, a real stalwart of the 24H series paddock. Yeah, just confirming, Max Hesse race leader, he is an FIA gold, so right, cannot be listed as a semi-pro. I saw that on the entry list, but that's a mistake. Yeah. Alexander Malekin going through in pure racing and he's now a full lap back on the leader. So he's a lap and about, where's the 92 gone? He's a lap and 2 corners. The leader has gone through 7. It comes to 8 now, and the second place car, Malekin, is a couple of cars and a corner and a half or so behind. Having said that, the leader's got a lot of traffic ahead of him, and it's still not got past Vitaly Petrov. That's because Vitaly Petrov did a 2:01.3 last time around. Max Hesse in behind him at 2:02 flat. Petrov is flying. Yeah, it's been really, really quick in this stint in that SMP Racing Mercedes, which has been run by the Haupt Racing team. Yeah, he had a 2 flat a couple of laps ago. So Vitaly Petrov only 12 laps on his tyres. He hit that the early difference. Yeah, that was his 8th lap on the tyre. He's hit that really quick time. So yeah, former Formula 1 driver, of course, raced for Renault. And who could remember the 2010 season finale where Fernando Alonso in a Ferrari could not get past him? Well, you could say that Vitaly Petrov was the father of DRS. Because of him and that last race, that's how we got the pass flaps into Formula 1. I don't know if that's if he'd like that, if he'd like that or not, but it doesn't mean that. Yeah, for Fernando Alonso could not get past them. Remember that race in Abu Dhabi vividly? That was Sebastian Vettel's first World Championship winner, first of 4 in a row. Good memories. Are we taking some of your time, Johnny? Are you wearing half past? I forgot my own rota. I bet so aggressive. Okay, let's do a change in the commentary box with 14 3/4 hours to go. And welcome back, first of all, to Phil Anson, who joins me to the left-hand side. Just before Johnny takes over from me, Phil, a comment from you, if you would, about what we've seen in terms of the attendance here. Now, obviously, our film stars had a bit to do with that, but there's an awful lot of more locals than I've seen here before. And also about the investment in the track that the property owners have done. I see a lot of new paint. I saw some new bleachers on the infield when I was over there as well. There's been some new concrete laid to make viewing areas over at the outside of turn 14. This place was under threat not so very long ago. It was. Is that threat now has it sustained? Has it disappeared at least? I think it has dissipated, John. Union Properties and the management here at Dubai Autodrome have been on a mission for the last 3 or 4 years to make the visitor and racer experience much more pleasurable. And they've invested a huge amount of money in this place, especially with the new grandstand at turn 13, and down the end of that you can see right from turn 3 all the way down to turn 10 and get them coming up through the bowl. Lots of investment around the circuit as well, as John said, trying to, we are in the desert. How do you make this beautiful? You put some greenery in there, and then we've got the Apex Garden, which is growing more and more every year, and thank you to Dubai Tourism, Tourism UAE and Dubai Tourism has done a fantastic job of publicising this event. And it's really showing this weekend because we've seen a massive crowd here. And Joe Bradley has some news to us from the pit. Joe? Yeah, you actually think that we are busy. This is Christian Bermudez. Now, Christian, you're not happy just running one car here in the Dubai 24 hours. How many are you running here?
So, you see, previous years we've been doing this since 2019, okay? So, with HRT, we find that our collaboration is really good because we have combined the experience from the both teams. And you see, we have something very special now. PRP means Professional Racing Programs. This is when we like to work with drivers, not just to invite them to race. We have find a formula. The formula is, once you have a driver that wants to be in an endurance race, this is called dedication. When you have a driver with dedication and a team that has experience, we can say that we can have discipline. And this is what we need for endurance, discipline. So when we find drivers with this commitment, we like to put it together because discipline makes it happen. So we usually commit now because our formula grows. So this is why we have 4 cars. We like to four cars, everybody. 4 cars. 4 cars
With 4 drivers in each car.
Yes, 4 drivers in each car.
So Christian, your job is to be a nanny, a psychologist, a mother, and all of those things in the weekend. With 4 drivers per 4 cars.
And I will tell you, endurance is passion. This is a family. I like to invite the drivers to be on this family. And as a family member, I like to show people the way. I just don't want you to come here and, let's go race, go home. No, let's build the trust. Let's build the discipline and make it happen because endurance needs that.
So, Christian, tell me, do you find the drivers or the drivers come to you? Because you go across the road to the kart room, for instance, and find the kids in karting and then bring them into the program and into endurance.
At this moment, we have a start for 2025, a karting project here in the Middle East. So, it's a little bit about things, you know? Once you manage to do things good, we always want to be in the good side, you know? So once we have these drivers, they come to us and we can come and share with them. It's a win-win situation. We both come at the same place. We are in this autodrome, which is the home for racing. So there's a little bit of both. Once they come and they bring another driver, we talk about it, we show them our family, we show them our collaboration, we show them our perfection. And as you see, one of our perfect examples is a QMMF car, which is all the Qatari cars. So they found it, they bring the dedication to us. With our passion, we found discipline. And with discipline, we have been able to show the results, which have been really good for this year.
As a customer driver, you can make so many mistakes. You can spend a lot of money with the wrong teams. I suppose being a part of your program will help with that. You don't have to make those mistakes. You can place them in the right team.
Correct. The idea is to learn from our mistakes. So we have made the mistakes, which we already solved everything. That's what our formula combines very good. Drivers come and say, oh, Chris, I had this problem. Okay, let's work it out. Your passion with our dedication will make this mistake minimum. Of course, everything has a margin of error. But if we both put our brains to it, we can solve it. It's not, oh, my team is the best, or you are the best driver. No, it's let's put our mistakes together so we make a nice and smooth line.
You learn from everyone's mistakes. When are you running of the Dubai 24 hours? How are your 4 cars doing in this event?
At this moment, we are really good. We have occupied the first 3 places. So I think we have a promising race.
Well, the program is working. Well done, Christian. It's great to meet you.
Thank you.
Long may it continue.
And thank you for welcoming us on this big family.
Yeah, long may it continue. And you're right, we are one big family.
We are.
Crazy family, 24-hour racing.
Non-stop. And after this, we're hitting Jazz Marina for 6 more hours of full racing.
Exactly. Thank you, Christian. Yeah, not just happy with 24. They're going to go for the full 30 spread across 2 weekends. I'll be honest, kind of peer behind the curtain, we were invited by Creventic to go and talk to Christian, and Joe was given the instruction to head to their garage, and I'm so glad we were, because we wouldn't have known Christian otherwise to necessarily have a chat to him, to know the background, and what a great communicator he is to start with. I'm not surprised that project's going so well, Phil.
Indeed, with 4 cars here and building another team out of the kart drone behind us, that is really impressive. He's bringing up young talent to put in the HRT family of cars now, the QMMF by HRT, plus the 3 other HRT cars that are running, which have all AM driver lineups, which means they get the AM advantage, 50% more, 50% fuel under code 60. So they've done their driver categorisation incredibly well to take advantage of that. And they're quick drivers as well, as we've seen on the leaderboard. So it's still a long way to go, 14 and a half hours yet to go. They can still move up, but with the passion behind the drive between HRT and what they're doing in the Middle East, full credit.
And another name, a team name synonymous with this part of the world, is Dual Racing by Hoover this year. Phil Keen now at the wheel of the Mutran car. So Nabil, Ramsey, Sammy, all competing in that dual racing car again this year. Theo Overhouse they've invited to be as part of the team, and he'd bring back Phil Keen after he had a year away from their outfit last year, but had been regularly part of their driving squad up until 2023.
Just on the outside of the top 3 in 992 at the moment is the 950 from Dual Racing by Uber. The guys, the Michelin set it out last year. They didn't do it. And I did ask them, because they were here at the race last year, and I did ask them why, and they said we didn't get the right package time to get the right package together. We won't do it unless we've got a chance. And this year, with racing with the Christoph Huber stable, and we know how experienced that man is in setting teams up. Winner of the Porsche Super Cup on multiple occasions, so they're in good stead at the moment. Still a long way to go, and they can creep up that leaderboard.
Definitely, it won't take them long at all to remember what they have to do, even though it's been a couple of years.
But they've got so much experience. They've been racing here for many, many years. You don't forget this circuit. No, you're just in a different car and a slightly different setup, new Michelin tyres, and everybody's got used to it, and it's great to have them back. They race in remembrance of their lovely father, who I spent many years chatting with in the paddock, and he's always here with us in spirit. Almanar Racing by Team WRT continue to lead. Max Hester now at the wheel of that Belgian run car. 231 laps completed. From Alex Malakin, the defending World Endurance Champion for the new LMGT3 category. It was Pure Racing that took that title along with Malakin and indeed Klaus Bachler, who's here racing but not in that car. He's in the number 24 Dynamic GT lineup, in fact, and he's had a go at leading the race as well. 24 currently in third place with Luke Hartog. And in fourth, it's Ahmed Al-Hati for Parody Competition, the BMW number 991 car. Optima Motorsport got their McLaren to fifth, I noticed, with Michael Porter in the number 33. So GT3 non-Pro-Am cars occupy 5 of the 6 places in that top section. Let's get back to Joe with another update from the pit lane. I'm just standing there listening to you, Johnny, and I'm standing next to the car number 69. It's the Continental Racing with Susan Motorsports, an Audi R8 in the GT3 class. I think it's running about 9th or something, I think. It looked like an innocuous run-of-the-mill pit stop, and then just as the car was about to be given the wave on, the mechanics went to work and told the driver to shut it down. 19, by the way, not 9. Shut the car down, and the car's gone up on its tracks and been wheeled towards the back of the garage. So I'm not quite sure what they found, but it may be something that they found on the data or something, but we'll check it out. But from 19, it's gonna start dropping places by sitting here, not running round on the track. That was Michael Loboda who brought the Audi in. Continental Racing entry, nothing to do with Bentley's, by the way. That's a slightly different outfit. Yeah, UAE-based team. They've got 2 cars running under the Continental banner. The GT4 Supra running as well, which some of the drivers who have moved up into this Audi. He's been running that Audi at our local meetings as well to get a handle on it. He did a couple of races in Europe. The team did a couple of races in Europe. As if you're watching on the live stream, you see the guys going to work on the front left corner of the Audi R8 and just trying to sort things out there. But Continental came in, they won the GT4 category last year here at the 24 hour. So they've got some credibility, and it's a shame to see them having to work around the front of that car. We've still got 14 and a half hours to go. They've got time to get back on. Yeah, let's hope that they can get a fix of some description so that they can get as much running in as possible. Now, the other car is aligned with the TTR. Yeah, Track Time Racing, local team based here. They run in the Radical Championship. They run some Clios as well in the Clio. Run Hill Taniju is run by TTR, which is Track Time Racing. Okay. And they are very successful. They won the Radical World Championship a couple last year at Yas Marina Circuit, the first time it's been held down there. Nice. And one of their drivers, Alan Geshev, who's racing here this weekend, won the trophy. We got the number 1 trophy there from a locally based team running about 6 Radicals. So well done to Craig Thompson, the head honcho at TTR, for putting the teams together, and they've got a much more amateur driver lineup in the GT4 this year, getting some drivers up to speed. So Joe's been to visit the car at least, and you've got a driver to shed a bit more light on the situation. I've got the driver, Michael Laporta, who brought the car in. Michael, everything looked fine, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't fine. The pace was fine. I get 2-0, 2-0-1. It's really good pace. But one moment I have contact with other Audi, with the driver. He closed the door and spoon last time, but it's a little bit touch. I think it's not reason. we have a problem with radiator now. I think something from ajithcar goes to our radiator and we have some problem. Right, I mean, you guys were having a good run. You're in 19th. That's a pretty good effort considering how many cars. There's 33 cars in the class. You guys were right in the midfield there. And that's going to put you back. What does that make you think as a driver to push back? I don't understand it. All right, you're going to have to push now that you're dropping time. Yeah. We have to push to... I don't know. We'll find him. Then after rebuild the car. Yeah, Miguel, that was great interview. Your English is fine, sir. That is fine. Thank you. Bad luck on the 69, of course. So it was a radiator problem. Nothing to do with the impact that you just described to me. Yeah, easy to pick something like that up. There's a bit of debris here and there. That's the nature of a 24-hour race. You get just natural debris because we're racing in the outdoors after all, but also the accumulation of maybe tyre pickup or a little bit dropping off a car here and there. The marshals could deal with larger pieces of debris, but in this darkness, no one's reporting anything. No reason to throw the code 6 here. It's very easy to puncture a radiator or indeed a tyre. Just through bad luck. The Lebodas, there's a Yuri Leboda as well, who's Mikhail's brother, not competing this weekend in this race, but comes from a good racing stock. And let's hope he and the rest of his driving crew can get back out again. That looks to be a very late call for Max Hesser in the Almanar Racing by WRT BMW, the race leader. I don't think I was misreading that. Treble 7. It's the right BMW, isn't it? I can't tell now because it's just a blaze of headlights.
Yes, he is in the pits. Yeah, 42 laps on those Michelin tyres.
And the first job is to call by the penalty box.
10-second penalty to be served, and that'll clear the penalty list up from the Almanar racing team.
And it is a team member from Almanar Racing who's had to go down there and count that through, I think. Or is it one of the race officials that stands by your car and counts you down?
Well, I've seen both happening. I've seen people down there with the stopwatch on, and I've seen the official just do it all by himself.
It's one less thing for the team to worry about. Obviously, they've got to get the radio message across to Max to say, do not miss the penalty box, because you take 2 hours to serve.
2 hours to serve the penalty.
On the penalty being issued,
yeah.
Which is very reasonable, to be honest. I mean, there are perhaps other champions around the world that might be able to learn from that. It's deliberately meant to be a penalty that can be served during a normal pit stop. There are some penalties elsewhere in motor racing that are exclusively just that. A stop-go penalty, for instance, and it's meant to be quite draconian, whereas here, if it's been in a minor infraction, why not do it whilst you're serving the car? Servicing the car, can I say.
What's going on the Lamborghini, the 710 running the GTX, currently leading that. Gerhard Wertzinger was at the wheel before that came into the pits. It looked like that's had a bit of contact. 55 million mile an hour take going on the front left of that beautiful looking Lamborghini. So, thanks Joe, he has stayed in the car, so it looks like he's going to double stint that, as they're really trying hard to get that bonnet clip down. So a little bit of work going there on the pointy nose. A bit more tape will go on.
So Gerhard Wertzinger, the very German-sounding American, who's driving with compatriot Don Yount, and then JJ Song, who we commented on a little earlier on, being on the wheel of the 710 Lines Up Motorsport Lamborghini. That was still in daylight hours when he was leading the GTX division, and they are still there. Very difficult for the other GTX runners to unsettle that Lamborghini, despite the running repairs that have to take place.
Well, they've got 6 laps over the IRC GT at the moment, so they can take their time to do this properly so that nothing falls off as that million mile an hour take continues to be plastered over the front and taking away that beautiful paint job on the... Yeah, exactly, Joe, you're going to have to have a chat to them about that.
It's very disappointing, and they haven't really sort of made it blend in with the car livery as well. Where's Brendan? Let's have a word. I've got to say, we're disappointed
disappointed there was no blue tip. We're very disappointed there's no blue tip. Black on blue. Great job, effective job, but aesthetically very poor. Got to say. I'm going to have to mark you down that plate. Yeah, there's -10 points, so we're after a penalty, right? No blue duct tape. Got to have a word now. No blue duct tip. We've got a blue card, no blue duct tip. Do you have any idea what damage was caused to the motorsport? Yeah, I think it had contact with the car. Maybe, yeah. Late in the night, just one of those things that's so busy out there and really tricky in the dark, I think. The headlights on the cars are so bright, so it's very tricky to get perception of the depth and how close the cars are, and I think he just made a mistake. So it's one of those things. Are you supposed to be lying down in a dark room, seeing as you're not in the car, so they're running you short to see you? Just did a double stint, got a wee back rub, and about to sit back on for another double. So, all right. So when are you due in? About an hour or so? Yeah. 50 minutes I'll be in the car, so in 2 hours, and then I can have a sleep after that. Right, that's why you feel wide awake. Yeah, that's right. I just had a cappuccino. So have a word with Lightfoot about that blue tip. And yes, I mean, it's gonna kick off on YouTube, I can tell you, Brendan. He's pretty handy, is Brendan, in a Lamborghini. I forgot temporarily that he was the European Lamborghini Super Trofeo champion in 2023. And there was some really big time. He won the Lamborghini Super Trofeo World Final in Pro-Am in 24. Oh, wow. So he is very experienced in steering a Lamborghini. Indeed. Yeah, and they're going in to do another double stint, capitalise on that lead that they already have. I mean, Lamborghini Super Trofeo racing meant to be sprint variety. It quite clearly is. You know, you cannot afford to think about strategy. There's no space for it. Whereas here, a bit of recalibration of the brain is necessary. It's still going to be hard, isn't it, though, for a couple of stints, and it doesn't really matter what time it says on the clock. Here in Dubai, if you're elsewhere around the world, it's coming up to 20 to 11 in the evening. We've been dark from, what time was sunset? I didn't take note of that. Between 5:30 and 6, around that time. Okay. And it was pitch back at 6:30. Yeah, well, it happens so quickly, as you've already made the point. The sun just drops away from the skyline and disappears for 13 hours or so. Not going to see that again until 6 minutes past 7 tomorrow morning. And that ties in quite nicely, we were saying earlier on, with 6 hours to go in the race. And psychologically, that's a massive step. It's the third stanza of this race. You have the afternoon stanza, you have the night stanza, and then you have the run to the flag stanza in daylight. And that's when everybody gets that second wind and ready to go again. And it's a long way away. Brendan just said that he's going to get back in for another double stint. Wow. But at this stage, you're just thinking bit by bit, aren't you? Just, you know, if you're about to get in ahead of a double stint, and that's manageable. 2 hours, you know, it's a long time, and the body's going to take some punishment, but you can think, well, I can get through that, and then I hand over to my co-driver, and they might do another 2 hours, and just walk your way slowly and surely through the race. I think it's the same with the team managers. They reset at when the sun comes up, and they look, okay, what have we got to do to get places now? Yeah, where are we at? What can we do in the remaining time, the remaining 7 hours? Because that is a long time in a motor race. Lots can happen in that. Just picking up that Lloyd Hartog in the dynamic Porsche has got back into the lead, 39 seconds ahead of Ahmed Al-Afi in the Paradigm competition car, who's 59 seconds in front of Alphaz Al-Zabar in the team Almanar Racing. So it's still tight at the top, and we've seen this ever since we started this race. These top 6 or 7 teams have just been swapping positions. It's a couple of Porsches at the top, it's a couple of BMWs, but as you said, there was the McLaren from Optimum Motorsport is slowly creeping his way back into real good contention at the moment. Harry King just on an outlap from a pit stop in the Pure Racing Porsche, and currently running 5th in GT3. He's a couple of laps down on the leader at this stage, but I
I'm just looking at Lloyd Hartog. He's doing 2 minutes 7s. Right? Seriously, he's got 19 lap old Michelins underneath him, and the next driver behind him is doing 2:03. But once again, we have to take that into account that they will deal with traffic at different times.
And isn't it terrific for the official name Sultanate of Oman to have 2 of their drivers in the top 3 of the Dubai 24 hours this far into it? We know all about Ahmed Al-Hati, the Paradigm competition, but then in the other BMW, the Al-Manar racing by Team WRT car, as you said, Al-Faisal Al-Subaya has just taken that car over from Max Hesser. And the Omani flags looking resplendent on my timing screen in those 2 positions in behind Dutchman Loic Hartog. And the BMWs really benefiting, it would seem, from this evolution pack. The first time we've seen it in proper action, but those BMWs are very neatly placed. One in the AM category, one in the Pro category within GT3, and looking strong. 3 cars remain on the lead lap.
Well, I'm just looking at what happened yesterday with the change in balance of performance with the Porsches, the GT3Rs. They got hit with a 20-kilo ballast for today's race, on top of their 30 kilos that they already carrying a GT3 car. So obviously they look really quick in the in qualifying, and they've been brought back to the field, but dynamic with like Hartog at the wheel, it's still lapping in 201s to flat on 20-volt tyres, so he's getting a very good run in this car. But we had probably 15-20 minutes ago when John was on, there was a whole heap of Porsches. There was at least six Porsches in the top 10, and so as it changes around, as the strategies unfold, they're just swapping backwards and forwards, and this has been a continuous thing since we started, Johnny.
The other thing is, for Mercedes fans, it's starting to look a little brighter. There are 3 now in the top 10. The highest position one is in 5th spot for SMP Racing and Vitaly Petrov. However, now a drama right after turn 16 for the Neutron Porsche. It's Navel who took over from Phil Keane in the last pit stop, and a spin for the 950. Now we've had a very nasty spin and crash for a Porsche Cup car really early on in the race. Thankfully for Nabil, he kept it out of the wall there, and he's able to continue on without a scrape on the car.
I think he must have lost that around midway around the corner, and he's turned it tighter to get into that gap before the Armco starts. And he's just backed it in there nicely. That's track experience.
Yeah, that's track experience entirely. They might have been away for a year, but they know all about when it does go wrong, how then to deal with it and try and not make it worse.
So his brothers deal with it.
They'll be waiting on the
Don't want to get involved in that family argument.
Yeah. Fist in palm rather, just ready to go. What have you done? But no, I think they'll be okay with that. Because it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, most definitely. But I've seen quite a few cars. I was standing outside, and we had one of the other Porsches spin there earlier on. Look, it ended up in the middle of the circuit sideways, and really difficult because cars coming down to 16, they fly around there in the GT3 category, and it's not a nice place to be. It's a 24. It goes a little bit off track there, getting around some back markers down through the bit, and just sliding through the back markers now, making it look absolutely effortless.
It doesn't matter how many times we witness that, you still cannot do anything but to kind of breathe in for a moment and make sure that the car, especially when it's a leading car, get through safely. And again, there's a bit of slow-moving traffic here that Luke's going to have to deal with patience. And whilst we enjoy the continued action at this year's Dubai 24 Hours with Michelin, we can hear from Joe again.
It feels like just a few moments ago that you guys were describing the SRT Audi getting involved in an incident. This is the driver, Bert Longin. Bert, you had an incident out on track that I think we saw on our cameras. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the only thing that it was also an Audi. So, that I don't like, you know. We are Audi drivers, so we don't have to push. I was on 1 hour 50 in the car, and the dash
tickets for that, so of course I was slower. But anyway, he had to wait when it was open, and I would let him pass. But I go and speak with him. You know who it is. I've actually just interviewed him. I didn't know there was a connection. Well, you just rang a bell, so I asked the engineer who it was. Okay. Chris is a very astute man. Yeah. But anyway, also that's racing, I understand, but it's not necessary. It's 24 hours. So. Yeah, I know those on-track incidents. Other than that, the half-start thing, it's going round and round. Still early. Still lots of hours to go. Yeah, I think they are doing a good job. The team is doing a good job. As James and Alex are really amateurs here in Dubai. Peter and myself, it was 2 or 3 years ago that we drove here. So, like now in the night, the lap times were good, but even so, I have to improve still a little bit, but it was not a bad stint. We mentioned Chris. Chris the Donker is the team manager in there. Is he the one? I mean, Chris, I'm familiar with Chris on the pit wall, engineering in your ears, but Chris is he still influencing how you guys engineer the cars on track? Yes, like we have a Christian, we have a Christian. Yeah, I've worked with Christian as well. Yeah. So, but anyway, it's a team that don't give you stress, so you can really think about how to do it all the time. I know to stress you up and make stupid mistakes. So it's the first time with this team. It's the first time in many years in the GT3. But I have to tell you, it's a strong team. They do a very good job. Well, you're doing a really strong job. I expect to see you there, Bert, at the end of the race. Good luck for the rest of it. Fingers crossed. Bert Longchamp and the Peter he talks about. It's a surname I always struggle with. I think it's Peter Kuling. Both Belgians. And Alexander Bukatsov's part of that lineup as well. But he's an ultimate pro, is Bert Longchamp. James Winslow we heard from chatting to Juno earlier as well. So it's difficult really to see a weak link in that driver lineup. Well, SRT guys are lovely people too. Well, Peter was successful in this championship last year in the European legs of that. Second in Spa, but running in the 992 category, not in GT3. So, as he said, they've all taken a little bit of a step up in the SRT Audi, and currently running 6th in the AM category of GT3. Long way to go. And also, Bert, keen to stress that because there's so far to go, there's no need for unnecessary contact. I mean, it was nobody's choice, I'm sure, to have a touch at that point. It's either a misunderstanding or you didn't spot the car was there, but nevertheless, he needs to be paying a bit more attention, I think, is Bert's opinion, and we can all understand that. And he's going to have a sensible chat. Yeah, that's the whole thing about it, is, look, we're both Audi drivers. We've got Team Audi support here. The big transporter is down there, just outside the Parc Ferme area, supporting the Audis here this weekend. Audi customer racing here, and they'll be down at Yas again next weekend. So a lot of support for that team, and we will probably see that they're trying to also help out one of the cars that didn't make it to the grid, who they're trying to rebuild for next weekend. Yeah, exactly. And that's not a nice situation either, but we wish everyone attempt so well, in sorting that car, whether it be a replacement or a rebuild, for the 6 hours of Abu Dhabi at Yas Marina this time next week. Yes. And we'll be qualifying on Saturday, racing on Sunday. We've got the Clio Cups back with us again, supporting F4 Middle East now will be running down there as well as the round of the Radical Championship in Middle East. An idea at the end of the long straight about the speed differential between a couple of Cup cars and then a TCE Cupra, I think that was. None of those cars were in the braking area, but that is just an illustration of how fast these Cup cars go down the straights. At times faster than a GT3 car, because they don't have the same aero that a GT3 requires to be quicker through the corners. But then, when you're two abreast in the Cup division, you've got to be so wary of anybody else that's trying to get down the back straight. And there was a toy car basically trying to do that. So briefly 3 abreast, and everyone some good heads-up driving there. The situational awareness in the nighttime racing is extreme for these drivers. There's no two ways about it. You really can't see how quick that car is coming up behind you. Yeah, you only have the lights. And there's no blue flags or anything like that in the night time. You can't see them. And so you just have to make a judgment of how quick are they coming up. And especially if you're looking forward and having a battle going forward and somebody's coming up quick behind you. The closing speed between a touring car and especially a cup car down there, you know, a touring car is probably doing 200 kilometres an hour. The cup car's doing 260. Yeah. And the cup car will need to get on the brakes earlier than the touring car because they don't have the downforce to manage a high corner speed. And so then you get that braking differential where the touring car's still in front under braking. And it's just when do they release or push a little bit harder or run a little bit wider. And they will hold the racing line, as is done said in the sporting regulations and at the driver's briefing. And it's up to the car that's passing to find their way through. As we click over 242 laps, with just over 14 hours remaining in this, the 20th running of the Michelin 24 Hours of Dubai. Like Hartog is still whacking in those quick laps. Him and Faisal Al-Sabah are quick. Harry King is that racing car. He's just done a 2-minute 0.8. So the pace is still electric out there. Remember, I think we were 57.711 on lap 4 to break the all-time lap record in a race. But by then, everybody else, we've all dropped back into the 2-minute barrier in the GT3s. Which, what that's doing is they're preserving, they're making sure their tyres last. But the 992s now are doing the same sort of thing, and they're around in the head of the 992s. They're in the 206s. Okay, so what I'm seeing this year, rather than say last year, the 992s had the cup cars had a much more advantage running in the straight line, but the performance of the GT3 cars has now grown to such a point that if a 992 Cup car has a full tank of fuel and you have, say, a third of the tank of fuel, you will be quicker, you'll get more drive out of the corners. So, and it also depends on the calibre of driver that you've got behind the wheel at the time. The other thing I had to quickly look up, because I always forget, is whether the Porsche Cup cars we were talking about, 992, have ABS. They do not. No. Whereas in some Carrera Cup championships, the AM part of the championship, for example, might allow ABS and not in Pro. Well, across the board, that was certainly the case last year anyway, and I don't believe that's changed in the technical regulations. So, once more, finesse is the order of the day. And those that might have come from an AM 992 Cup car, that's quite a quick learning process or a learning curve to get your head around at a track which is fairly punishing on brakes. The Porsche is not an easy car to drive. Full stop, full stop. I've done laps around here in a cup car. I came in after 3 laps. I just can't deal with the weight at the rear end of it. I come from front-wheel drive. I come from, I race front-wheel drive cars and radicals, and it just felt so wrong. But the guys who are specialists at it can really, really make these cars, and John will disagree with me on this, but they can really make those cars work. And you have to, it's a different style of driving completely to any other car that is out there, any of the 992 or the 992 GT3s. They are a real specialist driver's car. When you get the best out of them, it is so rewarding. Yes, I'm sure. Absolutely so rewarding. Talk to a lot of the drivers who race here in the Carrera Cup Middle East, and it's the same thing. You get a lap right in one of those cars, and you've really, really extracted the most out of yourself. They're a specialist breed. I am a Porsche owner, but mine's got to be out in the front. So you know where you are with that. From the background that you do, but you either come up through the Porsche Junior categories, and therefore it's almost second nature, or there are just some drivers who can do front engine, rear engine, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive. They can just get in a Porsche, and it might take them a couple of laps, might take them a full day, but then afterwards they've just become expert, and they're sort of otherworldly. Can't work out how to do it. It's just the dynamic of driving that car. I came up here around turn 15, and there was a slower car in front of me, and mistakenly I lifted it.
Too much, and the back end came around on me. That's and I went straight to the pit lane. I'm not planning that in the Porsche 3 at turn 4. Just, don't live in those cars. It's the same. It was very much the same in the Clio Cup car with the cold rear tyres. If you get the back end of that car out, just plant your foot down on it and drive out of it. So, it's very... So every credit to those that have been racing Porsche for a few years now. Ricardo, early on in his racing career, he's already become an expert. Joe's drawing my attention to one of the Ginetas, which has ended up in the garage. I don't think we were aware that car had been parked for a little while. Nick exposed it initially, right? So yes, Joe, we have had news of that. Oh, wait, well, it's kind of my thing.
The car has stuck out of the gap beyond the garage door. I think they may have had a bit of a fire up to see what the problem was. Did Nick find out what had brought the car in, do you, can you remember?
We're finding out. I was not.
You weren't even on, were you?
Possibly otherwise engaged.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity. Is it 975 or 495? Sorry, 795? 795.
Yeah, this is the GEX.
Electrical, I think, Joe. Driver's still in the car. Driver may have been put back in the car, maybe
Right, okay. It's a broken alternator, I've been told, so that must be well, yes, yeah, of course it is.
Oh, wow.
But the belts come off.
Definitely electrical.
It's electrical. I'm trying to see where I'm going to see how difficult a job this is. You need hands like a gynecologist, I think, to get in where this alternator is. It really is tucked away nicely. The engineers who designed, where is Lawrence Tomlinson? I'll have to have a word with him and see where he's got the alternator. See. Yeah, I think it's gone beyond the alternator now. They're adjusting. Yeah, they're changing the what's it called? The thing that goes on top of the spark plug. Can't remember. My brain's gone.
Whilst you're thinking about that, we are about to go code 60, Joe, in the next... In fact, I was going to say in the next 20 seconds.
Oh, really?
It wasn't the next 20 seconds because it's now. It's the coil pack, Joe.
Coil pack, that's the word I was looking for. Coil packs, I put many on. They're putting coil packs on, which kind of answers the question why the car is sticking with its back end out of the garage, so that they're trying to... That's the fire up. That's always a good sign. Now, they're obviously... what brought the car in was alternator related, but they've sorted something else out with regard to the car, so cause or effect might not even have been the alternator. It might have been a misfire being caused by something. But when they've cleared off and got this on, when they've got left, not as much to do, I'll dive in and get a full explanation.
127 off the road. At turn 7, we are under code 60 for that. That's the SRS Teams Auto Rennsport Porsche 718 Cayman.
Hiro Miyashi at the wheel.
Yes, Hiro Miyashi. You said that far better than I did. The TCX division.
Looks like the extinguisher's gone off as well.
Or there is something more serious going on there. We've got the fire crews in attendance very, very quickly down on the exit of turn 7. And didn't see any flames, but there was a lot of dust or smoke down there. When we had the side-on picture of the car, it didn't look like there was too much damage. Driver door is open, and the crew are speaking with the driver now. So is that spun to the outside? On the outside of turn 7, yeah. So turn 7 is about a 50-degree right-hander where you actually have to come down a few gears. You roll through turn 6, and then you change down a couple of gears, and then head to your right. And it's easy there to have contact because it's a prime overtaking spot for faster cars. Yes. And that is one of the TCX cars. So maybe an overtaking move that went the wrong way.
Yeah, you go through the sweepers at 3, 4, 5, and then 6 gets a little tighter through the right hand.
You roll through 6 because you can run it up high and get a good entry line into 7, but 7 closes up on the exit.
And the focal point is turn 7, isn't it? Yes. So you're kind of building up to that real apex there, and it's so easy from watching cars through that sequence of corners to run it out wide, and then entirely miss the apex. So you can lose time, or you can go even worse in the case of this car and actually spin it out, and it's very easily done.
I'm not sure if there was barrier contact or not. Difficult to tell from the camera angle that we had. And we'll wait till we get some messages about the health of the driver. But this gives, on lap 246, gives the teams time to come in, and we have the second and third car into the pits already. We can only take 25% of fuel. And under code 60, no penalties to be served under this.
Car is going to be
It looked like it still had 4 wheels on it. It was just the issue of there was a lot of smoke around there, or dust, so it was difficult to see.
Would you believe it's actually next door to the Ginetta pit where I was standing? I thought, oh, Rensport, where are they? Oh, there they are. So I'll hang fire on this Ginetta job. They still keep firing it up. But I'll see what they do. Hopefully they'll recover the number 127. They came in back here and we'll get a look at it. You know what Team Stoke Rensport will do no matter what it is? Fix it. Yeah, try and repair it. They have a record of never giving up.
Now that's one of the cars that can take 100% fuel, the only one in the field that can take 100% fuel under code 60, because it's not the same as the GT4 Cayman.
Okay.
It's running in T4.
That's the 127 that's had the problems. So if it could get back to the pit lane,
and they keep the code 60 ready, he can take its full fuel load.
This could be massively beneficial, but they've got to ensure that the car restarts and that it's still straight. We've seen one angle of it, and it does appear to be, but we shall wait and see. But this has pushed the button for so many other crews and teams. Of the top 10 places, we've got 5 of them in already. I don't think I've missed a stop. Of course, it depends where you are around the track as well, because you're restricted to 60 kilometres per hour. You might be desperate to pit, but you're going to have to wait to get to the right portion of the track to do so.
Indeed. The vehicles are still down there. I still think that may be able to either flatbedded or towed back to the pits. We'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, we don't know if it impacted the barrier or not. They've got the flatbed down there and getting the car onto the flatbed right now. I see some of the race direction guys down there as well, having a look at that barrier, making sure that that's still in a raceable condition. So it is on the exit of 7, on driver's left, and just past where the curbing ends. Yeah, it's one of those corners where the quicker cars will throw it up the inside, because then they get their run out of 7 through the 8-9 parabolica, and they basically don't want to wait until 8 or 9, because then that's going to destroy their speed down the straight.
Yes, and it's so important to be, well, marginally slower into 8, but you've got to get the exit speed out of 9. That is the crucial thing. So you can be compromised slightly at 7, not too much of an issue. But we don't know yet whether the 127 car had a moment on its own, or whether there was some contact to initiate that. It's also slightly more serious than Phil and I had thought of at first, because of the need for a flatbed. Even if that car does come back to the paddock, therefore not completing the lap under its own steam, it will be permitted to rejoin the race, just as long as the car is still fit and able to do so.
So if they get it back running again, it'll be re-scrutineered for safety reasons. Obviously, we will, driver 127 will go to the medical centre. Hopefully he will get the correct band if he leaves the medical centre, and be able to continue on racing.
Yeah, as we learned earlier on, that was a new bit of knowledge for me, but a yellow wristband issued by the medical centre means that you are passed to continue in the event.
And if you're not passed, they will remove your driver band.
Entirely, yeah.
For your own personal
safety reasons. Yeah, so we've had quite a few incidents to this point. Now Joe's suggesting that maybe you've got a yellow band anyway, so you start the race with a yellow band. And then the crucial thing is whether you keep it. Yes, that's it. Whether they remove it or not. Yes, the captain said they've let him keep his yellow band is what he was excited about. He was very excited about that, wasn't he? Well, that makes a lot more sense now, because I mean, it was almost as if you were given a band at the start of the race, and then if you'd been to the medical centre but were patched, you got a different colour. If you'd been to the medical centre and they said you're going to have to sit out for the next hour to make sure we're sure that you're all right, then you get a different colour band, and then if you're out of the race entirely, you are properly banned, you don't get a band at all. No, but this is far too complicated, so better to just issue everyone with the yellow wristband at the start of the race and then take it away if necessary. Ajithcar must have just stepped back into the pit lane. I can't see it, but I can hear the crowd going crazy again. That has been the flavour of the day to this point. It's the whole weekend, actually. 414, the Razoo Morgan Racing car, was in a bit of a bad way after Dominic Olbert's moment. I don't know whether there's any indication that the 414 is going to get back into the race at any point. There's some news regarding the Ginetta, though, because from the pit lane, I recognise that car being wheeled back onto the apron. This is looking much more positive, Joe. Yeah, very positive. It's out on the pit apron on its jacks, taking the trolleys out. They've got the battery booster pack to help it start. I think it's the start of some scrub Michelin, used Michelins going on the car. So this car is about to get back into this rift, and what that might allow me to do is try to find out exactly what the problem was, because it certainly wasn't obvious on the last few moments of that job. But it's good news. I hate to lose cars in the field. It's the spirit of endurance is to get to the checkered flag. It doesn't matter where you finish, effectively. I know it helps when you finish on the podium, but it's always nice to just finish, isn't it? The challenge is to get the cars to the checkered flag, get the cars to test of endurance for in all aspects. Crew, drivers, nuts and bolts. Here we go. And off he goes back into the race, and the motor sound. That's excellent news. They have been working very, very hard on that car. Alternator, belts that might have come off, then replacing one or more coil packs. 1 hour and 13 minutes in the box. Taking a while. I would imagine the first segment of that was just purely ascertaining what was stopping the car from moving. The diagnosis can take as long, if not longer, than the actual fixing of the problem. It looks like we've still got some flashing lights down there at turn 7, but a lot less than what we had previously. And some of them have already moved back to their stations. And only a few left. I think one of the course cars just making its way back into pit lane after doing a full reconnoitre of the 5.3 kilometre circuit, just checking for any bits and pieces down there. Around the circuit, good time to do a little track inspection from race control. Yeah, try and tie in as much as possible during these stoppages. Not really a stoppage, we're still clicking off the kilometres, but at a much reduced pace. And some people out there will be working out precisely what distance we're likely to get to. Not going to break the 2012 record, I think it's fair to say, at 628 laps. So that will remain in place for another season. But we have broken the track record, lap record. The lap record, yes. Yes, that happened in the first 5 minutes. Yeah, within the first 5 laps. Okay, it was 58.6 and 57.7 got done, 1.1 seconds. That's a lot. Can you remember who set that time? Yeah, it was GPX Racing. Okay, back in 2021. But who set the time today? That was our best lap, and I can do that. That was Winwood Racing. Ah, okay. In the opening stint. Yeah, it was. I can really work out who was at the wheel of that car at the time as well. Winwood. Their gun driver, and the 6 car. Was it Piana who started the race? Yes, yeah. He was doing some unbelievable laps in that first opening stanza. So Gabriele, who has been a Nürburgring 24-hour race winner in the past. And he joins Rinat Salyukov and Viktor Shaitar and Sergei Stolarov in that strong lineup in car number 16. We were hoping, Joe, that the 127 wasn't too badly damaged. I've now seen the right-hand side of it, though, and I think that's the side that you're standing. Yeah, if I was telling you, I'd show you the left-hand side, I think, at the moment. But the right-hand side, you know what? It's gone in square, hasn't it? It's kind of got equal amount of impacted damage on both the front wing and the rear quarter as well. No, it's gone side in. The tyres are completely deflated. The wheels are broken, certainly on the right-hand side. It's a heavy impact, that, albeit that I'm not sure that's repairable. Remember, on this car, on the Cayman GT4S, they're not built like GT3 cars, they're built like road cars. This is a road car-derived sports car, rather than the GT3 is kind of made and designed for the track. This is designed for the road. So the panels don't come off, they're not as detachable. It's like, you know, part of the steel structure, isn't it? The metal structure of the rear quarter, and that's just folded in. Think about putting that back together. They're gonna have to jam the wing off first. It was Yasuhiro Misashi who was driving the car at the time. He shares with Thierry Tukadali, Yutaka Seki, and Benito Targal, the Mexican, in the number 127 SRS Team Zorg Rennsport car. They'll be game for doing whatever is necessary. We know SRS and Zorg Rennsport through the years, but might just be a case of looking at that and going, we're just not guaranteed to fix the car in time for 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. They want a few hours to go at as their reward. And even that looks unlikely at this stage, even though it's still only 11:15 at night. Under 1 minute to the end of code 60. One of the AMG cars makes its way into the pit lane. And probably didn't get the call that's under 1 minute to go. So we'll be heading down pit lane, and he's still in pit lane when we go back to green. And under 1 minute can be 55 seconds or 5 seconds or 2. It could be anything, so there's young Jamie Day in car number 40, and congratulations to him for being picked up by Aston Martin as part of their junior driver program. Great to see young Jamie. When I was doing commentary for karts behind us, he was not as tall as me in cadets. He is now 6 foot taller than me and doing great things. And that's fantastic for the Day family. Congratulations to his dad Kevin, who runs XL Motorsport here in the Middle East and runs a whole heap of F4 cars, and has been champion of that as well. So, Jamie was racing under the XL banner before he went across to the UK to continue his karting and then into Tintops. Back to green we go. Klaus Bachler in the dynamic GT Porsche, 248 laps then completed, and we're back in the scenario where Bachler leads Darren Young in the treble 7. Al Manar Racing BMW is in second. Simon Travis in the Paradigm Competition BMW occupying third place ahead of a chasing Harry King now for Pure Racing in another Porsche. And then the two Mercedes, Dennis Ramanyanko in the SMP Racing example, Viktor Shaitar in the 16 Windward Racing car. They're steadily working their way up towards the top 5. It might get even better than that. And the German manufacturer that's really suffering at the moment is Audi, because we've had various incidents for Audis, either in the race or before we even got there. And that means that none of the top 10, in fact, none of the top 14 cars are Audis. The 15th place SRT is the first time we see the 4 rings. Not what they want this weekend, but obviously we had 2 Audis come together, which didn't help the Audi matters at all. So Bachler, did he make a stop during that code 6? I would have thought it's too good an opportunity to pass up, even though you only get a quarter of a normal tank. Yeah, his tyres running two laps old, so Well, certainly that was for fuel as well. Yeah, and if you look, the top 6 all came in on that one, and they're all on 2 laps on their tyres. Okay. So everybody came in, as we saw. A huge majority of the top 15 came in to pit there, and the only one that came in earlier and didn't take advantage was the Optimum Motorsport McLaren, which has got 8-lap old tyres, so he pitted before the code 60. One of the whispering giants of motorsport. It's so quiet, that car, as it goes down the start-finish straight. I just have to look twice and go, really? Might be another scenario here. We've got 3 abreast on the back straight. We have indeed, and the car in the middle there just wanted to get out of being surrounded. And there, the Red Bull car's now going to catch up a little bit of time around the outside of turn 10. So the 91, that's one of the Herbert cars. And 91 no longer with his teammate. That's Kai van Berlo, though, making good progress. With the 19 Mercedes, the MP Racing car, the car 19 down a little further than we might expect in 20th position for Henk de Jong. And there were 2 Cup cars involved with that as well, but everyone looking out for each other. And disaster avoided where 4 cars were all trying to go for the same bit of asphalt at the same time. Klaus Bachler, Darren Young and Simon Chavez, your current top 3. So the BMWs are slowly working their way into some strong positions. And as we continue to enjoy this hour between 11 and midnight, here's Joe from the pit lane. I was speculating as to what exactly was wrong with the 795 Ginetta Rodrigue Guillon. One of the drivers in that car, Rodrigue, you had problems at the very start of this race, and then all of that time in the pits. What exactly were the problems that had been overcome?
Yes, we have not big start. We have problem, electronic problems, also alternator during the race, and coil also. And now they fixed the battery. We lose almost 1 hour 20, and that's very pity because we were good on the during the race. We were always the 3rd position after 4 by the problems. After we start again, we keep the 3rd place. And that's pity.
The GTX class is a very small class, Rodrigue, so you will have a chance to come back. And you never know, you know, the aim is the podium now, and all you can do is drive hard.
Yes, of course. That's 24 hours, it's a long race, so everything can happen. And that's what I like in the endurance.
Exactly. How have you been? It's been a while since we've seen you in the Creventic. When was the last time you did a Creventic Series race?
My last time, 2 years ago, I drove here with Porsche, Cup car. And yeah, and before this, I do 6 years this incredible championship. I like it really. With the Aston GT4, we win the overall championship. And before this, I drove also in M2 with QSR.
What have you been doing with your time? What have you been doing when you haven't been racing with us? What have you been doing when you haven't been racing? What have you been keeping yourself busy for 2 years?
So after the last year, I do the Lambo Trofeo Championship. With,
where you got this nice jacket, look.
Yes. In the same team, CMR, I do the Trofeo with Stéphane Lemray. And this year, we do again for a second time.
So you like the endurance racing, though, surely, yes, Rodrigue?
Yes. I like since 4 years, I do sprint. I've done the GT4 European Championship with Aston to taste the championship. I know the Lamborghini, but I like the both.
Yeah.
I like.
Well, we and all of the 24 Series fans hope to see Rodrigue Guillon back in the series sometime. Great to see you. Hopefully you can have a good drive now.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to bring him back to the airways. It's a pivotal pause in his career, but Joe's established it feels like he's back now for good. Fabulous to bring you that news. Klaus Bachler continues to lead from Darren Young and Simon Traves, and a bit further down the order, the 992 race leader remain Red Camel Jordans.nl with their Porsche and Evo Broikers. I'm delighted to say we've got a guest in the studio in our global broadcast centre. Simon Hill is here, now officially the father of a British touring car champion, and it's been quite a long wait, hasn't it? I don't think I've seen you since Brands Hatch. No, how are you feeling? I think I've only just recovered, actually. Yeah, thank you very much for that intro. It's very kind of you. Very proud father of a British touring car champion, Jake, obviously, and it's been a busy off-season. It seems like it's been a very short off-season because this is the first time I've seen Jake racing at this stage of the year, obviously. The Dubai 24 course has been now for a while, the traditional season opener to all things exciting. I think as a youngster, I think it was probably, used to be, you'd be watching the Dakar, and now this kind of is, Dakar's great, but this is more fun in the desert than Dakar. It's slightly less punishing on everything, but at the same time, it's a massive test, isn't it? And whereby, you know, a lot of us British people, Western Europe people might be in hibernation state. It's a nice place to come and get some heat on the back, and also a big challenge before everything else kicks off. Very much so, and it's incredible. It seems to be, I've always remembered the early stages, obviously 20 years, but the Autodrome and the 24 hours has been going for a decent amount of time now. I always remembered it as such a mass variety of everything from a Renault Clio upwards, and it seems to have progressively become much more focused on the GT3s especially, and obviously this year it seems to be one of the best quality and quantity and mixture of fantastic cars, teams and drivers, and it's an absolute pleasure to be involved in a very small way in my case. Yes. So clearly you've been paying attention to this race. Jake must have watched it with you as well from home. So how keen has he been to be involved? This is his first time in the race. His first time in the race. This is his first 24-hour race. His first time in a GT3 car. Okay. He tested a couple of times. He tested a BMW in 2023, one of the Century cars, and way back tested an SLS. Those wonderful things. Yeah. With the gull-wing door. The gull-wing door. Yeah. Autumn hours, a little fresh-faced 18-year-old, alongside some bloke called Ben Schneider, whatever happened to him. I lost track, yeah. But yeah, so anyway, it's thanks to the guys at Era Motorsport, specifically to Carl Tilley and obviously Dwight Merriman. Jake had been doing some historic racing, as he had been for some time, and was invited to race TBR Griffith with Kyle last year at Donington, and they duly won on their debut together. Excellent. And after that, probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen anyone drive, specifically Jake, which was a 1970 Shadow Can-Am car, which had 840 horsepower and weighed 800 kilos, and he took it up the hill at Goodwood last year, and again, that was an Era Motorsport project. So when this was on the horizon, it was something, you know, GT3, something that Jake's been looking at trying to get an opportunity in for a while. Yep. And very kindly, Kyle and Dwight and the rest of the team said, you know, we'd like to see you on board. So he's doing the balance of the season. So off to Abu Dhabi next week, and obviously the European rounds after that. So a number of tracks that he knows, a couple that he's less familiar with. I don't think he's done Barcelona before, but yeah, it's going to be a wonderful way to get a lot of experience in a great car with a great team in a fabulous championship. And the calendar allows that, does it? Because I don't know what he's doing otherwise through 2025. So he's defending his British Touring Car Championship. I'm very much looking forward to see that shiny little number one on the side of the BMW 330. That's going to be a very special moment. Interestingly, although he's had a lot of success in his career, he never actually won a championship before. So this is his first ever championship win in anything, which is pretty special, as you can imagine. So yeah, the British Touring Car is very much the focus, working with Surrey Racing and MB Motorsport as before. Going to be super competitive championship as it always is. And then fortunately this works in conjunction. There's also some exciting historic stuff going down to Adelaide to the Motorsport Festival there. The Drive to Shadow that we were talking about, and then back in the Middle East later in the year for the Gulf Historic at Abu Dhabi, I think end of October, and hopefully Le Mans Classic. That's the other thing that's on. So which interestingly is the same weekend as Paul Ricard, but Mr. Merriman is looking at maybe doing a bit of both. Nice. Why not? It's the same country. Exactly. They're a little bit apart, but you know, if you've got some air travel organised.
Transport will be arranged, I'm sure, yeah.
So I was about to say you're maybe going to get one weekend off, but that's probably Le Mans Classic, is it? Or is there some downtime at any point this year?
I think there's a little bit here. So Jake's fairly recently become a dad, so obviously he's trying to juggle being a dad and making me a granddad, which is made me feel even older than I am. But it's lovely. Little Jude is unfortunately he's already saying car and things like that, which is making us both very worried. But yeah, so he's got some time now, some time off, and yeah, it's just incredibly exciting. It's been a very long and challenging journey to get the success that Jake's now got. So to now have the opportunity to not only stay in touring cars but also do this is beyond his and ours as a family's it's brilliant.
How's he finding it? Because I would imagine it's quite a steep learning curve. Can he compare it to anything he's driven in the past? I mean, historics will help, probably.
A little bit. I mean, one of the things that he did do, he was in the Peak Auto Series. He raced the 2002 Panos SR07, I think it is, something like that. It was the Mugen engine, front engine car. Beautiful thing that David Brabham and Jan Magnussen raced in period. So that was obviously a high downforce and fantastically quick thing. So drove that. Driven a couple of other sort of historic GT cars as well. But I guess in modern stuff, that's probably the closest thing. So it's been, he got a chance to go out to the States and test the car briefly in November. Okay. And had a little bit of a run then. And then subsequently, which obviously has been brilliant this week, there's been a reasonable amount of track time for all the guys. But of course, the 5 drivers sharing a car. As with all of the Pro-Am teams, the focus is very much on getting the AM driver as much seat time as possible. Dwight, of course, has not raced GT cars before. He's done a lot in prototypes, as you know, and a very, very strongly so in the past, as Javier has continued to do here, of course, over in the States. So really, it's only Ryan in the car, Ryan Biel, who's raced at the 296 before. Ollie Bryant has raced GT cars in the past, he's raced in Le Mans, as I'm sure you know, and of course Kyle Tilley's done an awful lot as well. But Jake is interestingly is the kind of the newbie when it comes to GT racing. Did a little bit GT4 in 2015 in a 997 GT4 car. But this is the first time in a GT3, first time in a 24-hour race, first time in a Ferrari. So the first stint that he did earlier, the engineers, as they always do, crunch numbers and things. Said on average, I think his run time was third quickest out of the guys that were on track, which was a huge, a little bit of a surprise, but kind of pleasing that he's that comfortable with
the third quickest of everyone else he was up against on track.
Everyone on track for the period that he was on circuit when they did an average lap time. Some people would probably send a message in and say, "Oh, you got that wrong." And it's just sort of a little bit of what I understood. Nevertheless, just I'm there doing the typical dad thing and staring at the timing screen religiously, and the lap times were up there and comparable with some of the guys that were very quick. We obviously had a little bit of a frustrating start. I had a puncher on the warm-up lap for Ryan, which is why he came in obviously at the end of the lap. So that immediately puts the look in the back. But the guys then took an early stop for fuel, so slightly out of sequence. And I think that got us away from the so-called traffic jam at the fuel stations, which has helped a little bit with the strategy. I think we were a little bit lucky with the code 60s earlier on as well. Dwight was in the car, which obviously meant he was able to relax and just concentrate on doing stuff there. And since then, the other guys have been absolutely superb. Ollie Bryan, Kyle Tilley, obviously Ryan's back in the car now, and he is ever the pro that you would expect. And Jake's thoroughly enjoyed his time as well. Back in it again, I think probably about sort of 1:30 or so.
No way, right. So that'll be the first time he's ever driven at that time of day, or night, more accurately.
He's done some night stuff. He did the fast 6 hours recently in a historic car, and he's done a couple of historic things, but not in a modern car. So it's all very sticky. It's put on his carrot to get the old eyesight out, I think, at the front.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity, but also, depending on where he wants to go in the next few years, clearly BTCC is the priority right now. But it may open doors, and he can lean on all of this experience that he's gathering right now in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. As you probably know, because you've known me a long time, and John has known me even longer, Le Mans has always been one of his absolute goals, and
and of course this is an opportunity to get experience that may hopefully give some chances to do something like that in the future. But what a brilliant place to learn. Creventic series is fabulous. It's got some brilliant circuits, lots of track time, and as we know, the quality as well as the quantity is absolutely outstanding. So you go into this, coming from a very successful championship last year, completely different genre, different requirements, but what a wonderful place to get experience to learn. And it's very much aware of taking it all on board, taking time with it, and so far he's having the best time ever. So am I. Good stuff. Even better talking to you, Jack.
Well, it's great to see you. I can't believe it's been this many months since that Brands Hatch meeting, but do offer our congratulations to Jake, of course, on the title last year and on becoming a dad. You're just about the youngest grandfather I think I've ever met, so well done on that too. Oh yeah, always. And come back and see us soon. Man, and we'll look forward to seeing Jake in the remainder of the Creventic Championship as well, the 24H series. After this weekend, we go to Abu Dhabi and the Gas Marina 6-hour event, and then of course the European season gets underway at Mugello in March, and its traditional date in Tuscany at the end of March, with then Misano and Paul Ricard and Barcelona and Spa as well. A 5-race calendar once again, brilliantly organised by the 24H series, and it feels like the level of the entry just gets better and better.
Well, as Simon was saying, it's a quality field, a great quantity of cars, over 30 GT3 cars. If you're going to learn your craft, you're going to learn it in that type of environment, because they are battling all the way up and down the GT3 field, and just fantastic to see.
We welcome Phil back, with thanks to Simon Hill for jumping in for a little catch-up. And we've still got Joe Bradley in the pit lane, of course. What have you got, Joe?
Yeah, I'm seeing quite a variation on thoughts on pit stop tactics. Quite a few cars. As you were speaking to Simon there, the Hero car came in and went straight through, as did the overall leader. I'm just at the east of the Connemara Energy by EV Motors, the number 1 car. That little bit of a variation. It came in and took on tyres before it went into fielding. No driver change though at this stage, but certainly it changed tyres. So what we usually see is teams do exactly the same as each other, but we're seeing a massive variation here this weekend.
They're taking tyres, and the rest of the top 7 took tyres during the Code 60. They're all on between 9, 10 and 11 laps on that one. And we've got number 7, as we said, Dennis Reminiaco in the pits, and SMP Racing Mercedes currently in 6th position overall in GT3. In the fuel bowser at the well alongside Patrick Niederhauser in the number 1 car, the reigning champions in the Middle East Trophy. And as they continue on, battle still happening out on track. Van Berlo just getting past one of the cars. Well, Herbert Motorsport currently in 91. Joe, you've got something for us down in the pit lane.
Familiar face to 24H Series fans. It's a welcome back to Joseph Brown, back with Scuderia Praha. Number 56 here in this event. But Joseph, great to have you, great to have teams back in this series. Is this the first of many in 2025?
Well, definitely. We hope so, at least, because this is one of the toughest ones, but we started the 24-hour Dubai, and until now, everything is going, so we are very happy, and if we finish this race, which we hope that we will, then hopefully we will do some more.
I mean, Scuderia Praha haven't been a part of the series. However, Scuderia Praha have been very, very busy. Where has the team been racing, for instance?
Well, mostly Ferrari Challenge, because we are a Ferrari team, so we raced the Ferrari Challenge, which was the biggest go, and we scored quite nice results, which was very nice also with our drivers. And now we wanted to do the step back, and a step higher, let's say, to come back here and enjoy the endurance again.
Joseph, I know you as the team driver coach. There's only space for one driver in Ferrari Challenge. Have you been doing any competitive driving whilst you've been away from the series?
Yes, also some of them, and also in Ferrari Challenge, so I tried that as well, so lots of stuff to do, keeping busy still, so it was still great. And
Yeah, now this is the best, to be honest, you know, and racing in the dark. Yeah, still got that sense of humour, that Czech sense of humour. Joseph, you came from a background of single-seated sprint racing. You came through the background of single-seated sprint racing. You've been doing some Ferrari Challenge. You just mentioned there maybe a preference for the long-distance races. So can you repeat, do you prefer the long-distance races? You know, it's always pretty big difference between the sprint races and the endurance races, because in the past I did single-seater racing, and that was quite stressful, to be honest, and you don't have the time to enjoy, comparing to the endurance, which is stressful as well, because you want to finish as high as possible. But I have to say that endurance is, you have more time to enjoy racing, which is great. And, you know, it's not like the other sports when you go like football, or when you do tennis or whatever, when you take the ball and go practice. For motorsport, it's much more expensive, so every lap is pretty expensive, so you are happy to do more laps. And endurance gives you the freedom to do lots of laps, long stints, and especially 24-hour races are especially in this that you drive a lot. And how has the race gone so far for Scuderia Praha?
I think it's not bad. I mean, it's first race with a new car, so we are still learning. There's definitely room to improve. We got little contact in the first few hours or a few hours ago, which cost us some time, so we lost some positions. But anyway, it's still going, which is important. So if we are still on the track and going, it's still good, because there is more than 12 hours to go, even more than 13 hours, I think.
When are you next in the car, Joseph?
Well, I'll be the next one.
Okay. When is that due?
Soon?
That going to be soon?
Should be in about 15 minutes.
All right, you better get ready then. Hey, it's great to see you. I've got to say it. Great to see it. And when I saw Scuderia Praha on the end of this, I had a big smile, because these guys, this team was a massive stalwart for the series. I think Johnny, they drifted away during that COVID period, and things changed for them with regards to customers driving in this series. But we haven't seen them for like 5 years.
Regular race winners, weren't they? I mean, if they were on the entry list, it was either Herbert or Scuderia Praha with their various sponsorship backers that were starting those races as firm favourites. So brilliant for long-term fans of the 24H series to see those names coming back again.
Currently 10th in the Pro-Am category, as it is said. They had an incident early on, dropped them back a little bit, but they're, as I say, they're still out there fighting in that Ferrari 296 GT3, a magnificent looking car.
Other names you might remember from that team, Yuri Pisaric and Matteo Magliucelli, regularly joining Josef Kral, and they won something like 4 races in a 6-race season in 2019, so unstoppable in the GT3 category with their 488 Ferrari. But it's been back a few years, as Joe said, prior to COVID, and circumstances may well have changed during that period. Ryan Diel, the man that Simon Hill was mentioning in the ERA motorsport car. This is the car that Jake Hill's driving a little later on as well. He's done a couple of stints already, but the 81 Ferrari suffering somewhat from that early puncture.
Well, the puncture happened on the race start lap, so it didn't get marked as a pit stop. That's why and then it came in really early on lap 10 for tyres and fuel, which put them out of sync with the rest of the GT3 field, and doing a great job. They were, during some of those coach sixes a few hours ago, up in the top 10. So it's just sorting itself out as the different drivers rotate through that car. But a big ask to do, and Ryan obviously very, very polished out there enjoying the nighttime driving.
I didn't throw this question in Simon's direction for fear that he may not have known, because he's not one of the drivers, but of course when Dwight Merriman was driving that car, there was obviously some sort of issue coming out of a code 16 that the car didn't get back up to full speed, and it then caused there was a misunderstanding, a tangle with the number 5 Motor Park Mercedes,
I should say at the wheel, which caused that car going into the barriers at just after turn 2.
And you say we think unsighted.
Yes.
All of a sudden spotted there was a Ferrari going very slowly on the racetrack. It avoided steered left, but certainly steered left straight into the wall.
Well, cold rear tyres, because we'd just come out of that code 60. Yeah, we're only a minute out of that code 60, and that was the first time down around turn 1.
Yeah, and whereas had we been at racing speed for an hour, let's say, then thought maybe the tyres of the car would have taken that, but just not enough heat and therefore grip. And it put another one of the sort of early runners that might have done quite well in this race out very quickly indeed. And quite possibly Motorpark's first entry in this race. I've yet to determine that, but they've not been a regular on the entry list in the last decade or so. Let's hope they come back again.
Well, they've got to, they would think they would need to redeem themselves. Getting a puncher on the race start lap is just something you don't expect. And when Joe spoke to him down in the pits, he felt that already on the out lap. So it's one of those really, really unlucky things. And when you've got to do that and come back into the pits a bit slower and then go and chase the pack. Yeah. And the pack is flying at them. We were doing very fast laps in that first stanza of the race as everybody was trying to make their mark and get to where they needed to be.
Number 917, called Gensi Racing Porsche, is in with Sam Yongian jumping out. This car still looking good, but the front of it, which is a sort of orangey yellow, now covered in flecks of tyre pickup. We're at the stage now where the cars look like they've done a lot of hard work. It's the car that does the whole of the race, of course. The drivers are only in for 2 hours at a time. But the rear looks brand new still on this car. They've had their trials and tribulations, though, in the 917, and would have hoped to have been a bit higher than 9th place in 992.
Indeed. Still a long time to go, 13:17 on the clock. As they probably head down towards fuel. Aaron Young is still leading. Looks like he's got about a lap. He's doing 2:01s at the moment, where Simon Travers in the Paradigm competition BMW behind him, leading the AM category in second overall, 2:61 laps. 44 seconds ahead of Harry King in the pure racing Porsche. And Harry's got 1 minute 27 over Klaus Bachler in the dynamic GT Porsche. And our race leaders in that 777, 16 pit stops for them. That's quite a lot compared to 12 for the second position Paradigm and 13 for pure racing in third. And then 16 for Klaus Bachler in dynamic. So have they been working the code 60 to try and maximise their stint runs? And then they'll be maxed out on their driver time, which will be their only limitation after that, because it looks like these tyres are really hanging on now. We've seen 48 laps out of a set of tyres, which is not unusual, but the temperature is dropping. And so I look at my weather app to see where we are at the moment.
8 code 60s to date. Some of them have been very swift indeed. Others have been out for quite some time if parts of the track infrastructure have needed to be repaired. And we had not much time at all between the first two, just over a minute as it turned out. So we came out of one at just before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so 2 hours into the race, and then 57 seconds after 3 back into the second one. But that did mean that 1 or 2 teams could do back-to-back code 60 pit stops. I think you've nailed it there with the 777, though, probably pitting at every opportunity along the code 60.
Definitely.
Whereas the Paradigm competition BMW might have turned down a few of those chances to pit. Now, what a story this is. The 414 is back on the apron, which will please a huge amount of our audience this weekend, I'm sure. Joe, bring us this moment where the 414 has reappeared almost back from the dead.
Incredible, Johnny.
Absolutely incredible job here. The 414 he's already been out. He's come in for a bit of assistance check. And when you saw this car, you remember how badly damaged this car was. I'm absolutely blown away. Dominic Olberg of Razum. I've got to say,
restore the car again. Importantly, Dominic, you had the parts in the truck. You had all the parts ready in case that happened. We had some parts with us, but mostly we picked up from Bosch, so all good. They were on spot, so we can go again.
A wonderful Porsche customer service. Great job again. Well done. Round of applause. Forward, and it has gone back out of
Michelin now driving it. Fellow Austrian to Dominic Albert. The team are Austrian as well. Razoon Morgan Racing with ajithcar, the Indian Hollywood film star and producer, and Denny Bent, the German, makes up that four-driver lineup. And I wouldn't say it looks brand new. It's clearly got spares on it from maybe various different One careful owner. yes, which Dominic would probably admit wasn't him. But Leo's taken good care of it so far, as he's drove from the pit garage to the fueling area. And let's hope that this is a safe but quick stint in the 414.
That accident happened on lap 144. We are on lap 263 now. A considerable amount of time. But as Joe and I looked at that car, we thought, that's actually a lot of cosmetic damage. It looked like the front wheels were still pointing in the right direction with their right camber on them. So it must have been a very cosmetic thing. And Porsche customer service, Porsche Racing customer service doing the job and getting them the bits that they needed to get back out on circuit. Fantastic work for the 414 team.
And in good hands with the 22-year-old Austrian now, who comes from most recently a GT4 background, Leo Gischler, but has raced in, well, a variety of GT cars, actually with Razoon going back to 2021. His certainly second attempt at the Dubai 24 Hours. I don't have him in the entry for last year, so might not have been able to secure a drive for 12 months ago, but did compete in the GTX category 2 years prior to this, in a KTM Crossbow, in fact. Haven't got any KTMs in this year's round,
No KTMs this year.
There's a lot of interest and variety from other lesser-known car manufacturers, which is, again, something that the Dubai 24 Hours is very, very good at.
Remember, we used to have the Donkavort spin.
Yes, I do.
And IRC, we've had Mark cars over the years, so a lot of silhouette cars have been making it. Just noticed a very big penalty for the car 40, Jamie Day, driving the Continue Racing, currently in 10th position, running third in Pro-Am. A 1 minute stop and go, a 1 minute penalty for passing under code 60. So that is not what they need. Jamie Day's only got 35 seconds over Patrick Niederhauser in 11th position, and 44 seconds back to Florian Spengler. So that's going to affect them there. I don't think they'll lose Pro-Am third, because that lineup behind them is GT3 and then a heap of AMs. The Heart of Racing by SBS in 13, Huff Racing in 14, Haas RC in 15, and Hoffer Racing 16 are all AMs at this stage in the GT3 category.
Just heard from our good colleague Peter Mackay, who's enjoying some time whilst not being in the booth, but watching at trackside. Too tempting, you see, to maybe head away for a snooze. Spotted a couple of issues for two different Mercedes AMGs. First of all, the number 4 car, which is the Haupt Racing Team example, being driven by Romain Andriolo, and he reckons, Peter Mackay reckons that some part of the rear is trailing on the ground, so dragging maybe from the under tray of that car, and must be infuriating for Romain, he suggests. So the other issue is for the number 19 MP Motorsport Mercedes AMG, which first of all he said there's no rear lights, and then he says there's no front lights either, and actually that's now been repeated on our screen. So to repair headlights immediately, the tail lights are less of an issue.
However, under the new regulations, if you have one out on either end, you have to fix it your next pit stop. If both are out, you must stop immediately. That's one of the new regulations for the 2025 season.
But PMAC now says the MP lights are back on, so have they managed to solve that whilst the car remained on the track? It didn't come in, did it?
Control Alt Delete, possibly?
Yeah, might have been.
Having a look.
there, still out on Hector Young at the wheel of the MP Motorsport number 19, and it doesn't look like he came into the pit stop. Maybe cycled the lighting, pulled the circuit breaker, and fixed that issue.
Well, that's good to avoid any further.
Because that is a mandatory stop. You can't get around that. That's stop immediately if you don't have front or both rear lights, or all four of them not working.
Yeah. So one on either end is, or one on each end is okay.
Yes.
One tail light, one headlight.
You must fix that at your next pit stop. And if you've got both are out, you have to stop immediately. Otherwise, you'll get the meatball flag and possibly a penalty.
For totally understandable reasons, that's hugely unsafe. Bearing in mind we're running in this level of, yes, we've got artificial light, but a race car has to be identifiable to fellow competitors at all times. So MP will be happy, as long as that fix is long term, that they won't be delayed having to come into pit lane to solve that.
17.8 degrees outside at the moment. It's dropping. It's due to get down to around about 11 degrees, around about 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, just before the sun comes up. And I asked Joe Bradley if he did have a set of trousers with him. He said, don't need. He'll manage. Must up.
Back in the UK, I think Saturday reached a daytime high of 0 degrees. So, and he's from the northeast, Joe. So I guess it's even colder up there, like permanent snow. And he's still in shorts. Crazy boy.
He is indeed.
Era Motorsport and into Africa Racing, keeping an eye on their lap times. It's the battle for 17th position, but it could very easily be for a scrap for the top 10 positions, judging by the pace on his car.
But overall in the Pro-Am category.
Oh, okay. Well, that's much more important.
It is indeed.
And yeah, the scrap will potentially manifold itself into a top 10 finish for each of those cars, but they have to keep the pace up. Both Ferraris, Axel Jeffries in the Into Africa car, and Ryan Diel in his Era Motorsport 296. And the car that's come into pit lane is the 496 Toyota. And this, therefore, had been driven by Victor Agafonov in his GR Supra GT4.
The local teams here, Continental by TPR. And winners here last year in that car.
Goes watching this stop. So third place in GT4, Joe.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference as well. It's got 5 wheel studs. So you've got a drill in every wheel nut on there. Not just the central locking single wheel nut that we see on the GT3 cars and other classes. This is a class that this Toyota is in. And he's been given the thumbs up. The car will get away. A little bit of smoke coming from the brakes, but nothing to be too concerned with. So I'm going to try and get a word with the driver that's just got out, Agafonov. Victor, isn't it? Victor Agafonov. Yeah, let's see if I can drag him out.
You can't get a word with him, get a word with Craig Thompson, the one who's holding the flag. He is the team boss down there at TPR.
Lost. Go just that. Oh, you got it.
All right, okay. Victor's English isn't good. Is it good? Good try? Yeah. He's giving me a thumbs up, guys. It's the international sign language. Victor's fine, car's fine. Car is good? Car, good? Yeah.
Fantastic.
All good. Nice and simple.
Great looking car. You know what? It's quite courageous, really. I mean, you know, you're going to come endurance racing. What do you do? What car do you choose? You kind of look at what we saw there at Razoon when Dominic said, you know, did you have any parts? Well, the parts we didn't have, we got off Porsche. They're here, they're customer services, but I'm not sure that Toyota have any presence for any kind of parts on that car, and it's a Supra, isn't it? The GT4 Evo, the GR Supra, and you know there isn't a truck full of spares back there. So
quite courageous, really, to bring.
They are defending champions from. They did win this race last year. With in their class, in the GT4 class, and the Continental Racing has also stepped up with the Audi as well in the GT3 car class. So they're running two cars here this weekend, a GT4 and a GT3, and this has got a junior driver lineup in it compared to last year, where they did take the win in the Dubai round of the Middle East Trophy.
Yeah, we were talking about KTM's not too long ago, and actually the road version of the Toyota GR Supra and the BMW that it's closely connected with are made in Graz in Austria, just like a KTM. You'd like to think the BMW spares are slightly more easy to come by than the Toyota, but it's just the floor pan that is similar. Did each have engines as well in the road going cars?
I'm not too sure, but I've looked under the bonnet and I've seen BMW written everywhere.
Yeah, it's the Z4 that it's part of the same family, and in fact Toyota and BMW both invested in designing and building that car. Yeah, it's a turbo inline 4 or inline 6 that you get in the standard road version of the Toyota Supra. But they do look fabulous. Joe's quite right.
Very nice looking car. Jamie Davis has done the fastest first sector of the race at 38.911 in the Company Racing Aston Martin. That's got some pace in it. 23 lap old tyres, and he's just quickest in sector 1 out of anybody. Unbelievable stuff. Running third in the Pro-Am. He did pick up. He's still got that 1 minute penalty to serve, so he's trying to make some time up now. We've got a yellow flag at the start finish line, which may have been withdrawn. I can't see it from the flag box.
So trying to hunt out the reason for the yellow. It's not a debris flag, is it? It's not a slippery surface.
Well, I can't. Well, it's not.
I can't actually see it, but it's indicated on our screen.
I can't see a flag flying from the start-finish box where it should fly from, unless it's flying from. We've got to have an answer.
Phil, look at our screen. We're looking out the window, but on the overlap that we can't quite see.
Oh, the 978 has stopped.
There you go. So that'll be the reason why there are yellow flags. We understand being shown. It's just in the overlap of the wall beneath us, so near to the vehicle access.
Yeah, driver's left. And it's right underneath us actually. It's just down here. So that's why we couldn't see it. And the flags are flying. There's a marshal post just there, so that we can't see it from where we are up in the commentary box. It's right underneath us. Now that car is off the circuit. There is a double gate right behind it. They'll be able to push that car back there and get one of the recovery vehicles to take it around the circuit, through the tunnel underneath into the circuit, and bring it back to pit lane.
And John de Wilde was able to get out of that car and head towards safety, where the marshals are positioned. We're not ruling out the opportunity for John to rejoin the race, but he'll have to stay at a distance for the time being to allow the marshals to deal with the recovery of that car. He's here with the Speed Lover outfit, 978, Stylus Longchamp, Wim Mulders, Gilles Renman, and Rick Renmans are part of the 5-driver lineup, all from Belgium in the 992 AM division. It's a minute to midnight. We're about to tick over from Saturday night into Sunday morning then. Again, a significant milestone to reach right here on the Radio Show Limited network of channels. It's the 20th edition of the Michelin 24 Hours of Dubai. Phil Hanson, Johnny Palmer in the Global Broadcast Centre with Joe Bradley patrolling the pit lane for the next 15 minutes or so. But Saturday about to become Sunday now, and the continuation of the race starts right at this moment. But still, we're not quite at half distance. There are yellow flags on the start-finish line to deal with John de Wilde's stranded, stricken Speed Lover Porsche. But everyone is hoping that if we can continue through this recovery, due to actually the heads-up driving from John de Wilde, to be able to stop it where he has done in the overlap of the wall right by the access gate. So the marshals should be able to pull that car out of harm's way, and we can stay green.
Well, it looks that way at
at the moment, because race control haven't given us any messages that they're going to pull a code 6, and normally we get some form of warning, and the drivers will get a countdown in the car this year. And we hopefully have got that car back behind the wall and out of harm's way. The driver was already, as you said, Johnny, making his way out of the vehicle, which means that maybe more of a terminal issue if he didn't stay in there and try to get a tow back. But it's very difficult to get a car towed back there. The 912 has a big slide. Wow. He held on to that very, very well. But that got his attention. That was on the exit of turn number 7. And he just had to get out of the throttle there as he makes his way down the back straight. This is Joop Rapanga, who is part of the Tierra Outdoor Racing by HWM Porsche squad. They are the leaders, in fact, in 992. So Rapanga is keen clearly to keep the pace up in this car, but he doesn't want to be... Actually, that's just changed. Maybe my timing screen was lagging, because now I have Lucas van Eindhoven driving the 912. So that has possibly just changed on the driver ID, and it might have been his outlap. Let me have a look and see where his tyres are. 34 lap old tyres on that car, on the Porsche. So we're quite a bit into the sticks. And there we have the rescue vehicle on the we're going to tow that car backwards. We want the driver in the car to steer it, and he has to put his helmet back on if he's still on the racetrack, so he has to be dressed correctly. The yellow flags are still waving. I'll give you a rundown of the 992 order in just a second, as the Speed Lover 978 Porsche is still being recovered. 992, headed by Lucas van Eindhoven in that Tierra Outdoor Racing car. Then it's another 992 entry as opposed to the 992 AMS. So Red Camel Jordan Scott NL, who have been long-term leaders, are now running in second in the 909 car. Then it's Ajithcar Racing by BKR, cue the screen from the grandstand, even at this time of night, yes. Fabian De Fuchs in the 901 for Porsche, 911 GT3 Cup car. They're all the same spec of Cup car within this, regardless of whether you run in AM or in the non-AM division. The leading AM car is the QMMF by HRT Porsche of Abdullah Ali Al Khalifi, although that car is now in pit road, and we've gone code 60 finally. I think they're going to pull that car across the circuit. The Speed Lover car. Yeah. But this is not an additional problem. It remains the John de Wilde stranded car, but it's on the wrong side now. Circuit, yeah. So yeah, for the circuit to do a quick recovery. So better to calm things down, and they can get the car maybe into pit road in the wrong direction, or more accurately probably to one of the access roads where you can cut through and access the paddock. Yeah, they're still working on that, because I'm just looking and trying to remember my way around the circuit in regards to the support roads, and this is on the outside of the circuit, so it's not on the inside where the pitch is, and so it's the race controller obviously on the radio to this team to say, okay, we're going to disconnect the thing, because he's got the car mobile, he's got the car running, and he is going to be able to get out onto the circuit and continue on. So maybe they bump started it in reverse. It's possible. It is indeed. The next question is there enough fuel in the car to do another lap, another 5.39 kilometres? Difficult to tell from our distance what actually stopped the car initially. But if John de Wilde is back in the car and feels like he can do another lap, I'm not sure he would be stepping off with such confidence otherwise. So we are under code 60, and as typically how these things pan out sometimes, the caution button is hit, and then the problem actually resolves itself. Yeah. But the marshals were part of that to help the engine refire. Yeah, it looks like they're going to pull the recovery car around to the front of that car now and take it around. Now, they can't go backwards down pit lane. They're going to have to go around turn 1, take the cut through to turn 17, come out, keep off the circuit, up to the club link, and then come around into the pits. Well, he's mobile. 978 just crawling with the hazard lights on at the moment. That was possibly a course vehicle, though, deliberately following it around. Just he's on the infield, he's on the 17-18 area at the moment, so he's gone down through turn 1 and then taken a right turn. Well, being able to judge roughly how long this code 60 is a great opportunity to do some extra work on cars, Joe. You can't take any more than your quarter of amount of fuel, but there's nothing to stop you changing pretty little kind of important bits of the car, should we say, that wouldn't normally be done in a regular pit stop. Well, we're just under an hour away from half distance, and I've been waiting for this, and I'm beginning to see this. I'm camped out at ajithcar, which is the number 21 Audi, and I'm pretty sure that other teams are doing this up and down the pit lane. They're going for a front pad change. It's 9.5 distance. Whether they'll get these pads through to the race finish, I'll ask that question longer when this car is left. But just the front pad's being done at the moment, and they're pretty much finished. But the opportunity to change pads and take this longer pit service whilst everybody's doing 60 kilometres an hour around the track is absolutely the logical thing to do. Let's jump in and ask Chris. Chris, will those brake pads take you to the end of the race? Yeah. Yes, yeah. So 13 hours. 100%. 100%. He's happy with that. That's why he did them then. Just pads though, not discs as well, Joe. No, that's a good point actually. What about brake discs, Chris? What will you? We don't need them. Really? Our brake discs go 24 hours. Wow, that's new, isn't it? The only thing we need to do is brake pads. Incredible. I remember the days not so long ago when discs were a thing as well. Yeah. It's not an issue. The cooling is very good in the car on the brakes. And last year I think we only changed them after 17 hours. But I remember also last year between 12 hours and 17, it was waiting for a big code 60. So now it was the moment to do it. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thanks, Chris. So yeah, remarkable, isn't it? The technology these days, this will last 24 hours for pads. Well, 17 hours, I think we said last year. Just the increasing technology on these GT3 cars. It's also about how that airflow is channeled through the cars with a bit of brake blanking as well. Because it's that careful balance of allowing some air through the car, but not too much to slow it down. But amazing that they didn't even have to change the rear pads. No. Just front pads, and only once in the 24-hour race. And the number 7 getting the same treatment. SMP Racing, their Mercedes down. Romanenko was in the driver's seat. I think he got out, and that'll head down front. Pads again only on the AMG Mercedes, as like the heat in that disc as the new Michelin rubber goes on. They're currently in P7, 8th overall in GT3. As yes, Joe, what have you got for us? Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm coming through. So, that was an Audi we were talking to Chris Dongo from the ajithcar Audi team. Just a couple of doors down, the Heart of Racing by SPS entry. That's a Mercedes AMG. And they are changing pads and discs. So, I think it depends on the car. Which is a... Yeah, I just wonder whether it's a balance thing as well, Joe, as in the Audi's just kinder on his brakes, maybe, and therefore... Well, mid-engine, Johnny, front engine. You know, that's where the weight is on the car. I mean, the Mercedes, you've got that 6-litre V8 put right over the front wheels, and you kind of slow that down as well as steering and braking at the same time. So, yeah, maybe just a better balanced car. By the way, we've got more issues with the speed level Porsche. It's got as far as turn 14 hairpin. Yeah. Oh, gearbox, by the way. For the speed level car. It's a gearbox, yeah. The team have told me it's got a gearbox issue. They're hoping to get the car in. What I was going to just add about the Mercedes AMG, the engine is in front of the driver. You know when we say front engine or mid-engine or whatever, it may be front engine, but that means it's just in front of the driver. It is so far back and so low down towards the bulkhead, just behind the driver's feet, just in front of the driver's feet. It's almost in the middle of the car when it comes to weight balancing. They have become almost like a front mid-engine GT car, haven't they now? Probably it's very unlike the road car, but as long as it's the same lump, you have some flexibility when you're designing a GT3 to put it in a slightly different position. So lower and further back in the car will give it better rotation because the weight's in the middle and the lower centre of gravity as well. So the 978 has stopped on the inside of turn 14. The recovery vehicle is there, waiting to get assistance, but with that gearbox issue as they're trying to make their way back into the pits. So they found the gear, and hopefully it's not having the same problems as the Bentley with the automatic selection of gears unwarranted by the driver. Not what you want to have in 1.5 tonnes of Bentley GT3 Evo running down towards turn 10. But it looks like they've got the toe strap out, and they'll get that. That means this will continue on. So we've had 8 of the top 9 into the pits to take fuel and head back out again. A lot of them have taken our Faisal Al-Zabar now leading in the 777 into that car. He's got new tyres on that, and Alexander Malikan in the Pure Racing Porsche also came in for tyres, but didn't serve their 4-second penalty. Klaus Bachler is out at the moment, but didn't change tyres, just fuel on that one, car 24, as the Porsche rolled through. And Optimum Motorsport doing the same thing, taking on new tyres. That McLaren now in the top 4. It's working its way up, Johnny. It is. Thomas Aiken now driving the Optimum Motorsport 720S. Yes, real steady progress. It's about not being too alarmed by the difficulty in the opening stages of that race. And Optimum Motorsport, one of many teams that can put things into perspective and, just not panic, really. Know that they've got a good car, that they've got a consistent driver lineup, and the race should come towards them as long as they can eliminate any errors that are of their own making. Sometimes you just can't help it. You're a victim of circumstance, rather than it's, accidents do happen. They do, and it's part of motorsport. But if you can stay out of them, and a lot of these drivers look a long way ahead these days. We're under a minute until the end of code 60. Speed Lover car has made it back to the pits. Didn't make it all the way, though, under its own steam, despite John de Wilde's enthusiastic effort to edge away from where it parked on the main straight. John's now out quickly chatting to some of the Speed Lover mechanics, not far from Joe. Let's hope that John's willing to have a chat with Joe in just a tick as well to find out fully what's happened. In the meantime, we are back to green, though, at almost 15 minutes past midnight. So, right in hour 12 of the 20th edition of the 24 Hours of Dubai with Michelin. 2 hours 27 minutes so far under code 60. Okay, so 22 seconds. All important. All important at 22 seconds, and that is our 9th code 60 for this race. And by the way, the race leader came in not that long ago. It's now in fuel, 777 Almanar racing car, but this is time that they're losing compared to their fellow runners in the race. Stationary versus green flag running. However, you can get a full fuel load in this mode, and the smart pumps will immediately change to allow you that full allocation as soon as they go back, as long as you're not going to breach the total amount, because they may have started the 25% ruling, and then that jumps to the full fuel fill that they can get as per the regulations. Here's Joe with John de Wilde. John, you tried your best to get the car back, but it had to be towed back, yes? When it came on the long straight, I went from third to fourth, and then system broke down. I was stuck over there in corner 1, and couldn't do anything. It was stuck in fourth gear. And then when you tried to push a little bit, then I was able able to put it back in first gear. I tried to come back on my own, but it went up there. The clutch was completely gone, so I couldn't go up anymore. And I think that's it. I think the team will probably try and fix it. New gearbox, new clutch. We'll see. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning, and don't worry. Bad luck there on the speed car. He's forcing a smile in John. There wasn't really much more he could have done in that situation. He was feeling that there was enough life left in the car to do a one further lap. I was concerned that they might have run out of fuel. That wasn't the issue. It was far more detrimental, yeah.
Basically no drive. And changing a clutch on a plastic Porsche is not a small challenge.
No.
And it's not going to take 5 minutes. A little bit longer.
And not something they want to be doing through choice between midnight and 1 in the morning.
No.
Might extend even later / earlier than that as well. But Joe's pretty confident that the speed level Porsche will be seen again in the race. We really wish them well in that regard. John's a bit of a legend of the Supercar Challenge, which is a big scene in Belgium. Belgium in his homeland, but also in the Netherlands as well. And also quite a bit of Porsche Challenge Benelux racing through the years since the mid-2010s. Took part in his first Dubai 24 hours 10 years ago, I reckon, with the Speed Lover 2 team in their 997 iteration of the 911 Porsche. MP Motorsport, this is a Mercedes that didn't have any lights on it at all, and had a warning message on our screen to say it must pit immediately to repair that. But from Peter Mackay's reports, it didn't need to pit because maybe the car pulled to the side of the track. They did a full-on reset, and those lights are fully ablaze now.
Did they? Either of a control or delete or a fun.
Yeah, probably not advisable to get out of the car and give it a kick, but that might be what the driver wanted to do.
Indeed, while the Almanar racing team was in the pits, they had surrendered the lead to Pure Racing Porsche. They're now 40 seconds behind them, with Alexander Malikin at the wheel of the Pure Racing car, Klaus Bachler at the wheel of the Dynamic GT Porsche. So it's Porsche 1 and 2, BMW 3, as they've dropped down into third place, albeit now with a full tank of fuel, which will let them run out a little bit longer.
Yeah, they'll be good for the next 60 minutes or so. Jerome Bullery in the TFT Racing Porsche running 5th in their class. Does that make them the best of the AM 992s? Yes. No, sorry, 2nd in that subcategory. QMMF by HRT, and Abdullah Ali Al Khalifi in the 974, currently leading the AM category, and now into the overall podium positions in the 992.
Remember, they are our reigning Middle East Trophy champions. They're running in a different class this year. They were in the Pro class last year, running in the AM category this year. And very resplendent, that number 974 is the country code for Qatar when you're dialing. So 971 for the wrapped down by Phil Genzi car, with Christopher Zuckling at the wheel, currently 33 overall, 5th in 992 AM, and 971 is the dialing code for United Arab Emirates. Very, very clever work by
It is.
the Middle Eastern teams.
Very convenient. They've gone in a class that mandates a 3-digit number with a 9 at the front of it.
Exactly.
And those 9 numbers, are a lot of them synonymous with Porsches. Jerome Bullery running as the 911 numbered car, indeed.
But don't get confused, because we do have a 991 running, but that's a GT3 car.
Good point, actually, yeah.
And we also have a 269 running, and that's a GT3 car. So apart from those two, everybody else sort of stays with what your number must be, which is in GT3 from 1 to 99. In 992, it starts with a 9. And
Apart from, there is an exception to that rule, of course, because we've got a 888 car.
it's Racing, that one, so don't get confused with that. Then if it starts with a 7, it's GTX. However, we've got a 111 running in GTX as well. So
There are rules, folks, but there is one exception to do each of those calls missed it, maybe. Indeed, GT4 starts with a 4 and the TCE starts with a 1. So that's how we determine the cars. Apart from those exemptions to the regulations, I guess, must have had special dispensation, maybe because of sponsorship with that number. 888, obviously a very well-known racing number throughout, well, where I'm from anyway, certainly, you know, and so maybe a connection there. Or maybe Seb Lejeune and the rest of that crew are just big V8 supercar fans. I don't know. Possibly, yeah. Seb Lejeune is certainly a good name to be reckoned with in Carrera Cup racing in Western Europe, and have run many times in certainly the French Championship of Carrera Cup, and also I think the odd outing in the Benelux. Okay. As well. So, yeah, he's not particularly precious to only running in France, and clearly now the true and international scene as well. Seb Lejeune Racing bringing 2 cars to this year's Dubai 24 Hours. Nice to see. Keeping an eye on our leaders at the moment. 40 seconds the gap. Alexander Melican and Klaus Backler, both in Porsches. Purex Racing, Dynamic GT. And that 40-second is there. They may have a lap now on our Faisal Al-Zabar in the Almanar Racing team. Who's down on 276 laps. I'm just waiting to see where he is in that 777 car. That's another one that is GT3 but is 777. Confused? Joe Bradley down in the pit lane. What do you got for us, mate? Yeah, this is a story of incredible sort of depth to it. Remember the number 127, the Team Sorg Rennsport? Porsche came in, and we said, there's no way they can repair that. Once again, Sorg Rennsport prove us wrong. Remind me of your name, please. Daniel Sorg. Daniel, once again, Sorg Rennsport prove us wrong. That car, I thought, would never see the track again. You've chopped the wings off, and you're repairing it. No, we are not repairing. We are preparing the repair at home. Some work we already can do here, we are doing here. But this car is not repairable here at the moment, unfortunately. Okay, so you're just starting the job. Yes, there are some things we can already do here. So we need the time because right after return the NLS season at the Nürburgring starts, so it's already tight, so we need every minute we can get. But it just proves that you may as well be busy while you're sat in the garage while putting the other car. So I can understand that, but is it really, what exactly was the damage on that car that you're having to look at at home? Again, because it was a bit... What exactly was the damage on the car? It was an unlucky mistake by the driver to turn into the corner while the Opel AMG was on the right side, and they touched, and the car flipped. So yeah, it's badly damaged. But the driver is fine. The driver is fine. He went to hospital for check. He's really sad. It was his first 24 hour here. He did a good job. But yeah, we all do mistakes. Yeah, we do. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much. Yeah, brilliant. I thought I was losing my touch there when I said, nah, that's not, yeah. So, and I thought they were going to prove me wrong there. I thought, oh, Bradley's losing touch, but no, we were. It's a shame, because, you know, we like to see cars back out on track, but as Daniel explained, Daniel Sorg, who is the Sorg Rennsport team owner, team manager, team principal, he made the decision that car's going to be... To be honest, we had no idea the incident was as serious as it was described there by Daniel. The car flipped, he suggested that Yasuhiro Misashi, the Japanese
racer for the German outfit. And the point that Daniel Sorg makes about needing to get back into Europe, back to Germany in time for the opening round of the NLS Championship. That is the weekend, the 21st and 22nd of March, for the 70th edition of the ADAC Westfalenfahrt, which is a 4-hour race. It'll be a Saturday, that, generally a midday start. And the thing is, you're going to get all the cars into containers, and then you're not going to see them for a number of weeks. As efficient as the 24H series run back to the Netherlands, I think. Is that where the shipping containers go back into initially? And then they spread their, well, depending on where the team is based, they'll either be picked up by lorries or maybe flown to other locations. And they're keen to get back to Germany for the middle part of March. Yeah, that accident happened 2.5 hours ago. Around about, lap. Yeah, about 2.5 hours at turn 7, and they got that sorted out. So the time that we went, 22:58, just about 11 p.m. We're approaching 12:30 now. So. A lot of work for that team to do, but as we didn't know that the car had been inverted. No, it flipped. I assume it's gone right over and hopefully, well, it did land on its wheels, but I didn't know whether the roof was dented. There was clearly a lot of damage on that right-hand side. And for one of the early races in Mitash's career, that will have been a big shock. Yeah, sure. It's only when you have a big one you realise quite how much energy these cars are carrying. But I'm sure, despite that horrendous moment, he is very keen to get back into a racing car. Maybe not today, no. You know, give him a week or so and he'll be really champing at the bit to get back on board a car. Yes, maybe the race director may have, the medical area may have removed his driver band with that one because the after effects, the late shock with all the adrenaline running, etc., when you calm down in the medical centre, that's when the things can go wrong. And obviously with the fully housed medical centre on the infield here, with helipads and everything else, and a team of doctors and nurses as well as the ambulance that we have all around the circuit with the paramedics, the drivers are always in the best hands when something unfortunate happens. And a driver very often thinks they know their body more than the medics do, and they can go, well, no, I feel fine, I can do another stint, and that's when the qualified people say, no, seriously, listen to us, we're not going to allow you to compete in today's race because we want you to do more motor racing in the future. Exactly right. Exactly, and you can't put somebody who is not 100% fit out in one of these cars in one of these type of races. It just doesn't work that way. Change of position in the AM category, 992. Fourth position now from Rabdanville Vital Genzi, getting past Mulder Motorsport, and that moves them up. And we've got around about 2 laps behind the Sepulou Racing AM car running in 3. A lap clear is the TFT Racing 992 AM car, and then another lap to our leaders in the 992 AM QMF MF, Qatar Motorcycle and Motor Federation, run by our good friend Amro Al-Hamid. And he's going to have a busy week because he's got the first round of WEC coming up very, very shortly, along with all the other stuff that he does there, MotoGP, Formula 1, what else he needs to do, really. Completely rebuilt the pits in the off-season. The pits were originally built for motorcycles in Qatar, and they were very, very narrow. And the Formula 1 teams were really struggling there. And then when WEC came there as well, same problem. So they knocked the entire pit building down. If you go back behind the pit, it's like being in a shopping mall. Wow. Because you've got all of the villas for the teams behind it. You've got nice open area in between there. On the TV, it looked absolutely spectacular and really, really well done by the QMMF and the Qatar circuit. Yeah, and that again is the opening round of the World Endurance Championship for 2025. But I haven't realised there have been so many changes in that 12-month period. Again, waste no time in Qatar, it would seem, in terms of development. And yeah, exciting to see how we go in the 18-12 kilometre race. That's in a couple of months' time. I don't think anybody expected us to get to the race distance for that. Rather, it may be to do with a 10-hour time duration, but we did actually get to the full mileage, incredibly. midnight, you're tuned to the Radio Show Limited network of channels, bringing you, once again, live coverage of the 24 Hours of Dubai, the 20th edition of it, and the first time that we've been powered by Michelin before, with teams well used to these new tyres now. Different types of tyre across various amounts of the categories. So the Carrera Cup, or the 992 division, running the Carrera Cup Michelin tyre, which makes sense. However, elsewhere in the range, Michelin have brought plenty of tyres for the different GT3 cars, and it's our understanding from chatting to representatives from Michelin that it's the Bentley that's on an entirely different compound, whereas the Mercedes and the Porsche and the Audi and the BMWs are pretty much the same compound, might be slightly different wheel widths and sizes, but otherwise precisely the same makeup of Michelin tyre. Pure Racing's Alex Malakin has come into pit road from the race lead. We are 18 laps away from the 300-lap marker, but with only half an hour to go until we've reached half distance. That rather suggests that the 6:28 record distance that was set 13 years ago is safe for another year. Alexander Malakin, oh so impressive in the World Endurance Championship last year, taking the title with a round to spare for Pure Racing. And that car is comfortably ahead of the chasing Porsche. The gap's a little bit misleading once a car has come into pit lane because of where the timing loop is positioned. It was timed at 28.1 seconds. That's more likely to have been about 3/4 of a minute. Peter Mackay, welcome back to the booth, by the way. Hello, Jonathan. Greetings. Good morning, I can say now.
Greetings. Yeah, actually, when you said it's past 12, I thought it was an Amazon. And after midnight. I guess we are the men after midnight.
Plural, yeah.
Multiple choice.
That's right. I'm still going strong.
You look chirpy as ever.
Well, you know the secret to that, don't you?
Sleep.
Anytime I'm not talking, I'm asleep.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
It's like when your smartphone is short of charge, you plug it in at various points through the day, and I have to plug myself in.
You're a walking as well.
Yeah. Yes.
You're in a better mood than you were this morning when you went away to take your coffee with you.
Oh, that's true. Actually, we were both in pretty cranky moods, weren't we? But that different coffee related. Precisely. Yeah, my coffee incident actually saved my bacon, I think. Whereas you were brave with an open cup of coffee.
Which had about 5% left, but the vigour at which our excellent chauffeur booted it over the crest like it was something on the South Lakes Rally.
He's a wannabe racing driver.
Yeah.
And he's back in the pit lane, you'll be pleased to hear. I wonder how many of the Ajit Kumar fan base are quickly being turned in the direction of Nick Damon. None of them?
Oh, I don't know. Well,
Ajit Kumar's about to get into his car, into the 414.
No, it'll be the 901.
So you keep waiting for the machine to turn up. So they'll have a little kind of huddled crowd. The crowd when he started was several thousand. And that more resembles the away end for Salford City or Fleetwood. There's a couple of hundreds diehards are left. Or they've all got in two coaches from Dave's coaches, that sort of thing. But there were thousands there in bed. It's pretty impressive they've hung around before midnight. I'm sure tomorrow morning they'll be back again in their thousands once more.
For sure.
But, he certainly, it has to be said, that it's amazing how a single world, well, not even world famous, a single regional famous, big regional, probably 500 million people, regionally famous actor, can pull in massive crowds and a huge YouTube audience.
Oh,
It's like having KSI.
To Ryan McLeod earlier, whose son Cameron is racing in the 1901. That's the Ajit Kumar Racing Porsche Cup car. And he said his social media has gone from 2,500 followers to 30,000 followers this weekend alone. At their hotel, they can't move, they can't this kind of reaction?
No, not even
Best
close.
fans to motor racing, and you know, let's hope some two-wheel fans being exposed to the four-wheel longer distance stuff. But I mean, this is night and day compared to Ajit's day job. And, you know, there are completely new people coming to the Dubai 24 Hours. That's why we've been quite descriptive in things like Code 60s and why certain things are happening in the race that the casual Formula 1 fan has not encountered before. But many fans of Ajit Kumar may never have been in F1 race. So it's great to be able to expose the sport to a whole new audience. There was a Janetta heading towards you, Nick, a moment or two ago, and not on the prescribed route into pit lane.
Is there? Oh, yes, it's being pushed out. Is it the GT4?
Yeah,
The GT4's been running really well. The that's the one that's had all the issues. Electrical issues, alternator issues, coil pack issues.